Fortunately, the strength of Cloud Dance is not strong. If it is stronger, the fire power of her summoner will go up to a higher level. At that time, even he may not be able to destroy it. The more so, the more deeply Shenguanshang's intention of killing is. Yunwu must not live beyond today. In the Blood Corpse field, people from both the Blood Corpse and the Beast Gate blocked the entrance one after another to prevent the cloud from leaving at any time. In the forest, almost all personnel were mobilized to search for the seriously injured Yunwu. When Jinling flies to a place where there are no people, he will not continue to fly, lest he is too big to be found easily. Yunwu was the only one left. He persisted until near the 4th stronghold, and finally found a place to hide. It looks like they're going to make a big move. Cloud Dance listened to the outside movement. Frown said, I kept thinking about how I could get away. If I left the Blood Corpse field now, I don't know if I could leave without disturbing the Beast Gate. Let's have a rest first. Your injury is so serious that it's useless to think more about it. The voice of Black Pride rings out in the sea of knowledge. And at the same time, she hides her breath. Yunwu nodded, sat down cross-legged, took another pill, and then entered the cultivation state. Don't see don't know, at this time into the cultivation state Cloud Dance, just found that his body's breath has become a mess. Shenguanshang's palm was directly patted on her chest. The veins in her body were serious. If not treated in time, I'm afraid it will leave hidden dangers. Damn it. Cloud Dance dare not delay. Immediately for their own simple treatment up. Nowadays, the search efforts and efficiency of those people outside are greatly enhanced, and this place is not safe. She must seize all the time to adjust her state to the best. Little by little, the sky outside the forest has turned white, but it is still as dark as night in the Blood Corpse field. Not far from the Blood Corpse, a group of huge flying warcraft are flying in the air. Hundreds of people are standing on each warcraft. Their goal is only one Blood Corpse. On the first warcraft, a man in black standing in the front frowned and urged the crowd to hurry up. Although he didn't know the way of doing things of Yunwu, he knew from just a few conversations that Yunwu would not trust others easily. He asked her to wait for her for 3 days, but I'm afraid she would not wait at all. If she acted privately in 3 days, I'm afraid the situation is absolutely not optimistic. Thinking of this, the man in Xuani turned his head to a man behind him again and said, Hurry up. I have friends in it. It may be dangerous if I go late. The man looked at the man in Xuani and nodded. At the foot of the flying warcraft, speed instantly accelerated some, toward the Blood Corpse to fly. Master Mu, I don't know what you said is true. We all know the horror of the Blood Corpse. If what you say is false, then we are likely to be wiped out. On one side, another man came to the Xuani man and asked. There was a faint worry and expectation between his eyebrows. He looked like the head of a tribe. Xuani man took a look at him, changed his previous style of laziness and laughter, and said seriously, Don't worry, what I said by Mu Xiuming is not a lie. What I told you is true. Once again got the guarantee of Xuani man, several tribal chiefs on the scene finally nodded at ease. I believe what Master Mu said. A rough and crazy man suddenly said. I believe that Master Mu will not cheat us. Don't forget that it's not only those things that are neither human nor ghost, but also the Beast Gate. It's not a pity that we have to cut to death. No matter whether it's a mountain of swords or a sea of fire, I'll be happy to do anything except those two evils. The man's words seemed to be in the hearts of the people present. They nodded one after another, and a touch of excitement flashed in their eyes. Yes. As long as you can get rid of them, you can pay any price. We can't stand them for a long time. It's better than that. That's right. If a leader appears, there will be countless supporters. Mu Xiuming understood this very well. Looking at the passion of the people, he couldn't help nodding but didn't say anything. Instead, he looked to the direction of the Blood Corpse. Now he is more worried about the safety of that person. In the Blood Corpse field, groups of Blood Corpses and Beastmen are looking for it carefully, little by little close to a huge stone. Where on earth did that man hide? So many of us have been looking for it little by little, but we haven't found it for so long. A man of 10,000 beasts complained to his companion. Do you think she has left here? So we're not looking for nothing? What do you know? We came in little by little from the entrance, so that we could go deep into the valley and never let go of any corner. How could she get out of such a search? Can she still hide from us? Another beastman said that he was proud of the idea, but he recommended it to Shangguan Li. It's an honor to be adopted. That's true. The first one said. But what if she had left before we searched? The patriarch has said that she left on a big eagle. If she left, the guard at the door was so strict. Would she not find it? Don't worry. The patriarch said that she would return to this stronghold. Don't worry. We just need to search carefully. As a result, the man of the beast sect who had just questioned did not continue to ask questions. He seriously began to search, not only on the ground, but also on the tree at any time to look up, so as not to hide in the clouds. There was more and more noise around. Yunwu listened to their conversation and opened his eyes instantly. Is the back road blocked? She can't get out of the blood? Yunwu frowned. Although she was dignified by the bad news, it was obvious that if she continued to hide here, she would be found. For today's sake, the most important thing is to find a safe place to continue breathing. There is still a long way to go for her to recover. Yunwu stood up from the ground, and suddenly his chest hurt. Yunwu bent down with a hum, and finally recovered after a long time. The injury is really not light, the Shangwenshong seems to be more severe. Cloud Dance frowned and said, My strength has been so much stronger than before. I thought I could deal with Shangwenshong, but I didn't expect that she would be seriously injured in the end. If she ran slower, I'm afraid she would die there. Someone's coming. Black Proud timely voice reminder. Cloud Dance quickly held her breath to see. Sure enough, the scope of that search was closer. I'll help you cover up your breath. You should use space to avoid it first. Black Ao said seriously. Cloud Dance nodded. Can only be like this. Now her physical condition is not good, and she consumes a lot of space elements. I don't know what she will be like after using it, but this is the only way to do it. Go and search there. Don't let go of a corner. A black-robed man pointed to the huge stone where Yunwu was hiding and told the disciples. Yes. Several people took orders and quickly walked towards the boulder. Right now, the air of Cloud Dance changes slightly, hiding behind the huge stone, and dare not make any changes. The space elements are quickly mobilized, tearing out a small space crack. Cloud Dance figure a flash directly drilled into. All restore calm. At this time, that several 10,000 beastmen have arrived here, began to search carefully. That human is really able to hide. We can't find it in such a search. Well, I don't know when it's going to be the first time. While there was no one in charge around, a beastman complained and said, It's obviously the blood corpse business. Why do we have to come? It's really troublesome. Should keep your voice down. The Lord is in a bad mood now. If you don't listen carefully, you will die. Another doorman said quickly, and glanced carefully at the supervisor in the distance. It said that the patriarch had a fight with that human, but he didn't get any benefit at last? Is it true or not? What nonsense! Will the Lord lose? I tell you, the patriarch just suffered a little skin injury. He can definitely recover in one day. You can rest assured. After hearing this, the beastman finally put down his heart. I said if it's more powerful than the Lord, you don't have to hide like this. Well, we're done. Let's go first. 2 beastmen said this and left here. Until they go far away, the noise outside is much smaller, and the Cloud Dance comes out of the space. Cloud Dance's face is pale and frightening. It seems that it consumes a lot, but now it doesn't care so much. Just as he was about to see how the people outside were going, he suddenly heard a commotion. Come on. All gather at the entrance. There are people attacking in the blood corpse area. There are too many people. The blood corpse alone can't stand it. A messenger from the beast sect came in a hurry and yelled at the crowd. What? How dare anyone attack here? Someone exposed the weakness of the blood corpse, and all the people from different tribes outside came here. They heard that the members of the beast sect were here, and they said they would kill them together. The messenger quickly explained that his face was full of fear. It's always the beast gate that goes to encircle and suppress others. When will it be the turn for others to provoke the beast gate? What about the search? One asked. I don't care about the search. Do you want to die here? Not yet. Let's go. The hasty and disordered footstep gradually goes away, as if fleeing for life, leaving towards the distance. When Yunwu came out from behind the boulder with a pale face, there was no one outside. The corner of the mouth has a radian, and the eyes of Cloud Dance have a clear flash. That's what you said. At the entrance of the blood corpse field, a large number of figures poured into it. All the blood corpses and black-robed people they saw went up to chop directly. For a moment, the blood splashed and almost dyed the whole forest red. Kill. Kill the bloody corpses of these disgusting people, and avenge our dead brothers. Kill them all. Let the blood corpse no longer exist in the world. Kill the people of the Beast Gate. Let them stop making trouble. All the people were shouting, fighting and killing, as if they knew the weakness of the blood corpses. They went up to find the place of the rune, and told others after they found it. So in front of these people, the blood corpses had little resistance. Mu Xiaoming stood at a high place and looked at all this coldly. When he saw that the people of the Beast Gate died under the people's hands, his eyes flashed a touch of pleasure. Beast Gate, one day, you will disappear from the world. Mu Xiaoming gritted his teeth and turned to fly to the deep forest. He doesn't care about the war outside. At this moment, he must find Yunwu as soon as possible. I don't know what's wrong with her now. It's a person who has put all his bets on. Nothing can happen. Yunwu did not take the opportunity to leave, but went deeper and deeper into the forest. Along the way, I met many blood corpses, but no one found her trace. A figure suddenly flashed by, and the cloud danced. The black flame sword appeared in his hand, and he was on high alert. When I saw the black figure turned around, I was relieved at last. Don't be so careful. Mu Xiaoming turns his head and says to Yunwu with a smile. Then his brows are tightly wrinkled. Cloud Dance ignore his words. Hand black flame big knife away said, Promise your snake meat I will do, but now I still have things. With that, he set out again and headed for the deep. Just this time, Mu Xiaoming followed closely. You are so seriously injured now. Eat this first, or I won't save you when something happens. Mu Xiaoming said, throwing a pill. His face seems to be quite painful. But I won it from others, it's cheap for you. Cloud Dance took a look and felt the strong power of the pill. Then she knew that the man in Xuani didn't cheat himself. This is really a good medicine. Also don't refuse, open mouth to eat down. Thank you, I will repay in the future. Under the pill, a pure force emanates from the pill, moistening the veins of the whole body. Cloud Dance only feel a warm current flow all over the body, instantly feel comfortable all over. Sure enough, who is a good medicine? The cloud dances in the heart to praise away. Will Xian dress man's kindness record in the heart? What's the mess out there now? Cloud Dance is the first to speak. Now we have been able to determine whether the man in Xuani is a friend or not, so we have more words. Hey. Mu Xiaoming chuckled and said, The blood corpse people are evil, so I told them where they died. Many tribes around here have enemies with him. As soon as my news is released, all of them will come to seek revenge. Look at the number. I'm afraid the 10 blood corpses may not be able to resist. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a touch of surprise, turned to see a Xuani man. Eyes more a point to explore. It is necessary to have a certain degree of prestige to gather so many people in the dead place where the bleeding corpse can be released in just 3 days. Otherwise, who will believe what you say? I didn't expect that this man had the ability to do this. Who was he? How's it going? Am I really good? Mu Xiaoming sees Cloud Dance's look, but directly chooses to play silly. Now he won't tell her his identity. Cloud Dance takes back his gaze. Since he doesn't want to say it, he won't ask. It's not too late to listen when he is willing to say it. Now she only needs to know that the man in black is not the enemy. 2 people have been moving towards the depths. No one asked each other why to go inside. A quiet tacit understanding let them form a kind of cooperation. Soon he reached the deepest part of the forest. Looking at the entrance of the mountain palace, his eyes flickered. Now the whole Blood Corpse clan has suffered an unprecedented crisis, and all the ethnic groups who have been persecuted by the Blood Corpse clan have done their best to rush over. the strong of hundreds of tribes. There are few members of the Blood Corpse clan, otherwise there is no need to capture human beings back. As for the Beast Gate, those tribes are not furnishings. If one person can't do it, there will be a group of people. They dare not be distracted when the number of people is too large. I just don't know if there is anyone left in this mountain palace. How are you doing? Mu Xiaoming was the first to speak. The next thing is not to make a fuss outside. If it's found out, I can't take you away. Don't worry. Cloud dance a corner of the mouth hook. This sun ability I still have. Mu Xiaoming nodded, looked at the entrance of the mountain palace, and said with a little cold, "Let's go." The mountain palace has always been the most heavily guarded existence in the whole Blood Corpse field. But recently, it was surprisingly clean. Except for some important places where blood corpses were still left to guard. All the other blood corpses went to the outside battlefield. It's so clean. Mu Xiaoming followed Cloud Dance and looked around carefully. Finally, he expressed a sigh. Even so, we can't be careless. Cloud Dance vigilantly looked around and said softly, "It seems that this is a dark room where few people come. According to their previous experience, they just look inside the hall, and even trigger the mechanism when they come in. I always think something's wrong here." Cloud Dance frowned and turned to ask Mu Xiaoming, "Do you feel it?" Mu Xiaoming seldom looks serious. In this dark room, he always feels that there is a big secret hidden. Try the power of magic bite. Black proud voice in the sea of knowledge of Cloud Dance rings out. Timely remind her. Cloud Dance along, looked at aside, also looking around for whether there is a mechanism of Xuani Man, after all, or nodded. The power of magic bite was mobilized. As if something was pulling her in a trance, Yunwu went straight to a wall and put his hand on it. At that moment, the power of magic bite seemed to be connected with the back of the wall. When Cloud's hand touched the wall, suddenly the position was shaking in the quiet dark room. "What's the matter?" Mu Xiaoming asked in a hurry, and immediately moved to Yunwu's side. "What did you touch? Is it hurt?" Yunwu shook his head, and his palm had already been taken back from the wall. Just now also ordinary one-side wall. Suddenly the light blooms. In the middle, a stone gate that only allows one person to pass through is slowly pushed open. With the opening of the stone gate, a strange smell comes to my face. Mu Xiaoming looked at everything in front of him. A flash of difference flashed through his eyes. He turned his head and looked at Yunwu. "You are really unusual. You can find all of them." Cloud danced the corner of the mouth a hook. "Luck just." The stone gate is completely open, and inside is a long secret passage. On the stone walls on both sides of the secret passage are inlaid with many night pearls, which are snatched by blood corpses from all over the world for lighting. The secret road stretched out for tens of meters, and finally disappeared from the corner. Yunwu is about to enter, but Mu Xiaoming suddenly reaches out his hand in front of her. "Wait, I'm in front." Then, without waiting for Yunwu's reaction, he went directly into the secret passage. They walked in the secret road one by one. Although they didn't know where to go, Yunwu felt that there was a feeling in the dark. "I'm afraid there is a big secret in the deep of this secret road." The intelligence quotient of the Blood Corpse clan is really not high. The secret road doesn't even have a fork. "Aren't you afraid that someone will break in?" Mu Xiaoming sighed. "Tut tut." Although he said that, he didn't relax at all. No matter what time, they always maintain a very high vigilance. They finally reached the deepest part of the secret road, but when they reached the end, they were stunned. The end of the secret road is really the end, a wall blocked in front of them. There is no way forward. Mu Xiaoming was stunned for a moment. He turned to Yunwu and said, "Come on, you try again." Before Yunwu came to the wall, as before, he put his hand on the wall. The power of the evil bite in the body is stimulated, and echoes with the things inside. The next moment, as before, the light on the wall is generous, and a stone door opens slowly. Mu Xiao stares at all these things. "Tut tut," exclaims. "I really doubt if you are with the Blood Corpse clan. Their mechanism can be broken by you." Yunwu is also very strange. It is reasonable that she has nothing to do with the Blood Corpse clan. But I don't know why. Every time I see the blood corpse, I feel bored, as if it is a natural hostility. but she can crack the mechanism of blood corpse. Cloud dance in the heart clear. Those blood corpses open the method of the organ is absolutely not her such. Just coincidentally she also can open just. The stone door opened, and they approached the stone door one after the other. Suddenly they were enlightened. After the stone gate, a large stone room appeared in front of them. The area of the whole room can almost reach hundreds of square meters, and the roof above has the height of 4 floors. In the room, on the 4 walls, were chiseled out one by one of the cross platform. The above dense runes are suspended on the platform, with 3 colors of black, white and red. In the time when Yunwu and Yunwu came in, the runes changed from black to red and finally to white. At a glance, the whole room was full of runes. Yunwu is naturally familiar with the runes. He once saw them when he killed those disgusting blood corpses. As long as the runes on the blood corpses are destroyed, those blood corpses will have no life. In the whole room, it was not the thousands of runes that attracted Yunwu and Yunwu, but a huge pool in the middle of the room, in which the black water was calm, just like a pool of stagnant water. But there is a continuous black mist from which pool of water evaporation, toward those runes indoctrinated away. From time to time will be some red runes turn black again. This is. Yunwu looked at everything in front of him in shock, as if he saw something incredible. At this time, the magic power in her body beat more happily. As if something excited her, Yunwu barely suppressed it. Who are you? How did you get here? Don't you know you're not allowed in here? Believe it or not, I will tell the king to put you to death. Violent voice suddenly sounded in the room, incomparably angry. Cloud dance 2 people turn head. 3 people line of sight opposite, at the same time stunned. Human. Blood corpse. The 3 said in one voice. Almost instantaneously, the black flame sword on Cloud Dance's hand appears directly and cuts directly at the blood corpse on the opposite side. Blood corpse figure a flash, unexpectedly directly from the Cloud Dance in front of disappear. Be careful. Would Xiaoming a cold drink, hand a long sword toward the cloud behind stab. Just blocked the cloud behind the attack, blood corpse figure again. Cloud Dance frowned. Did not expect that the strength of the blood corpse was so strong. So fast that she could not see clearly. Mu Xiaoming stares coldly at the blood corpse that suddenly appears again and says coldly, "Your skill is blinking?" Although the tone of doubt, but the heart has been very sure. Cloud Dance looks at the blood corpse in front of quite surprised. This blood corpse is more like a human than those seen before. Except that the skin is blood red, other eyes are the same as ordinary human. No wonder such a bloody corpse will be responsible for guarding this place. It seems that there is a secret here. The blood corpse coldly looked at Mu Xiaoming and said, the little master of the Mu family, are you too broad in your management? Mu Xiaoming didn't expect that his identity would be exposed here. He couldn't help feeling guilty, but it was still calm. Do you have it? I don't think that you blood corpses are so innocent that you should do such dirty things here. If we hadn't run into you, I don't know how many other races you would kill. Don't be so righteous. The blood corpse glared at his eyes and yelled angrily. This is how we blood corpses come from. Each race has its own way of survival. It's just natural selection. Why do you intervene? Is it? Mu Xiaoming said with a smile. If there is natural selection, it's right that you blood corpses are destroyed today? Blood corpse eyes a stare. What do you say? Mu Xiaoming just smiles and doesn't speak. The sword on his hand stabs the blood corpse again. Cloud Dance will listen to their 2 people's words in the ear, but didn't ask what. Hand of black flame big knife impolitely toward blood corpse to greet past. In the face of a bloody corpse, she would not show mercy at all. In addition to the heart seems to come from the depths of the soul for the blood corpse disgust. More also know that the blood corpse race will not die, other races will always be mutilated. The black flame burned towards the blood corpse. The strange-looking flame sent out a hot high temperature when it came into contact with the blood corpse. The blood corpse screamed out, and disappeared in front of them again. Cloud danced 2 people back to back, at any time to guard against the sudden attack of blood corpse. When he reappeared, the blood corpse was 100 meters away, and he looked at the Guwu sword in Yunwu's hand with venomous eyes. It's you who killed our people and made these runes white. It's you. Cloud Dance, eyes cold, looking at him, not moved. Mu Xiaoming snorted coldly. Up to now, you are still worrying about this. I'm afraid that before long, the whole Blood Corpse clan will disappear. Blood Corpse stares big eyes to look at him, don't understand what this means. Although more and more runes have become white since just now, he has not had time to report to the king, so he has welcomed these two people. Looking at his appearance, Mu Xiaoming continued to stir up the flames. Dozens of races outside unite to fight against the Blood Corpse clan. If in the past, the Blood Corpse clan will surely win. Just now your dead place has been exposed. Do you think you can survive the attack of dozens of races? The bloody corpse looked at him in shock, and his eyes were full of disbelief. No, how can it be? How could they know where we are? Mu Xiaoming looked scornful. Cut, why can't you know? Don't forget, there have been a lot of blood corpses since a few days ago. Said here, the Blood Corpse finally understood everything. Looked at the Cloud Dance, two people hysterical. Is that what you do? Only you know the dead place of the Blood Corpse. Even the people of the Beast Gate don't know. It's all from you. Mu Xiaoming was gloating. What can we do even if it is us? Can you still kill us? Let's not say whether you can kill us. If you do, I'm afraid the Blood Corpse clan will no longer exist. During the war, the most powerful people of the Blood Corpse clan were hiding in this secret room. It's really sad. Blood Corpse scarlet eyes looking at him, eager to directly frustrate him. But at the thought of his words, he finally held back, stamped his feet, turned around and left with a blink. Until he left completely, Mu Xiaoming finally lost his breath. It's very difficult. Cloud Dance is still thinking about their conversation, and got a lot of news from it. At this time, hearing Mu Xiaoming's words, he asked, Do you know the secret of this place? Mu Xiaoming turned his head and looked at the Cloud Dance, showing a smile. I didn't know before, but I'm not sure here, but now I'm sure. Cloud Dance is all ears, but Mu Xiaoming doesn't mean to continue. Instead, he goes directly to the pool in the middle. Standing on the edge of the pool, Mu Xiaoming frowned and looked down. The water in the pool is as black as ink, pure black without any impurities, and even can clearly reflect people's shadow. From time to time, two bubbles emerge, but the churning is not severe. Yunwu walks beside Mu Xiaoming, feeling the feeling of the pool water, and the feeling in her heart is stronger. This pool. Yunwu walks beside Mu Xiaoming, feeling the feeling of the pool water, and the feeling in her heart is stronger. If you're not wrong, I'm afraid this pool is the lifeblood of the whole Blood Corpse clan. Mu Xiaoming said positively. Look there. Mu Xiaoming raised his finger and pointed to the black energy that was constantly infused into each rune from the pool. He explained to Yunwu. After observing for a long time, I found that black runes constantly turned white. According to the war outside, I'm afraid that this change means the death of a blood corpse. Cloud Dance nodded. Mu Xiaoming and her speculation suddenly came to interest, waiting for Mu Xiaoming to continue. The more he said, the more curious she was about his identity. What kind of person can come to find her with the flowers of rattan and stay with her for so long? At this moment, Yunwu has no doubt that the original competition was deliberately made by the man in Xuani, just to let her get the flowers of rattan. As for the runes that turn red, I guess they are exhausted or injured blood corpses. At this time, the pool will provide energy for them, and let them recover as soon as possible through runes. Then, after they recover, these runes will become black again. When Mu Xiaoming finished all this, he turned to look at Yunwu and asked with a smile, What's up? Is my analysis reasonable? Cloud Dance corner of the mouth a hook praise a. Good, and I think the same. But it had nothing to do with her. She just wanted to know where the person she was looking for was. He once promised Xuan that he would take his wife back. Now that he has arrived at the Blood Corpse's nest, he can't miss this opportunity. Although I don't know what that person looks like, since Xuan can mistakenly recognize her as her mother, I think it's okay to look for her according to her own appearance. But if this is the top secret, should the captured human and alien creatures also be here? Cloud Dance frowns to ask away. How does the Blood Corpse clan develop? She has no interest to know and doesn't want to know. Anyway, no matter how the Blood Corpse appears, as long as it is eliminated. It's possible. Mu Xiaoming nodded. Two people no longer continue to stay in the pool, have looked around, want to find something different. However, no matter how carefully they searched, they could not find any strange places. Strange it shouldn't be. Mu Xiaoming grabbed his hair and asked, "Where did the blood corpse come from just now? Why can't we find the organ?" Cloud Dance guessed in the heart, only afraid to use the power of magic bite again. But this time where to start? While thinking about this, the cloud dances around, only to find that no matter what it is, there is no induction. The most intense induction is in the pool in the center of the room. Can't you jump into the pool? Cloud Dance silently make complaints about it in the heart. This idea just came out. Cloud Dance suddenly froze. Jump into the pool? Is it really about the pool? Cloud Dance quickly ran to the edge of the pool. The power of the evil bite in the body secretly urged. What are you doing? Mu Xiaoming looked at the Cloud Dance strangely. He had been standing on the edge of the pool for a long time, but he didn't find anything. Why did he go back now? Cloud Dance ignored him, still mobilized the power of the evil bite in the body. At last, the unresponsive feeling became more violent. It's really here. Cloud Dance heart surprise, mobilize more cheerful, as if not tired in general. Slowly, the black liquid in the pool had a ripple. Later, it grew bigger and bigger, and the bubbles that used to come out from time to time one by one, as if the water was boiling, but the Cloud Dance standing on the edge of the pool didn't feel the temperature at all. God, I said. You have a way to make it react. Mu Xiaoming was shocked to see all this, and was not stingy of his praise. Cloud Dance still did not answer, wholeheartedly into the pool. However, no matter how she was, the water kept rolling, but there was no further change. Cloud Dance frowned, thinking that from time to time his strength is not enough. Suddenly came the voice of Black Proud surprise in the sea. This power, it's like the power in your body. Black Proud tone rare shock, as if to break the usual calm in general. I know. It's a pothole. The magic hole. Yunwu frowned and talked with Haiyao and Jihai. Ignoring one side, Mu Xiaoming, who was excited and wanted to see the next change. What's that? It took Haiyao a long time to recover. Although he was calm again, he could still hear the difference from the past. It seemed that the things he met today really shocked him too much. Do you know where the power of evil bite comes from in your body? Haiyao didn't answer Yunwu's question. Instead, he asked another question. I don't know. Yunwu said frankly. She really didn't know when she had the power of magic bite in her body, and where she got it. She only knew that she didn't seem to be able to completely control it so far, which made her very upset. But I also know that I can't be in a hurry. When her strength is strong, she will be able to really control that power one day. Black Ao seems to have expected the answer of Cloud Dance for a long time, and then said, although I don't know where your power of magic bite comes from, I know that the power of magic bite in your body is inextricably related to the things under the pool. Cloud Dance has long guessed this. Otherwise it is impossible to use the power of magic bite to get here all the way. The black pool is nothing special. The real magic hole should be under the pool. It must be that the Blood Corpse clan found it and used it. If you want to know more, just go down and have a look. I don't know exactly what the vulnerability is and why it appears here. All I know is that the energy in this hole can kill and kill people, flesh and bones. As soon as Haio's words were finished, Yunwu's eyes lit up and suddenly understood all this. I know. A clear voice, Cloud Dance actually said directly from the mouth. Mu Xiaoming, who had been waiting for a long time, saw that Yunwu was silent and didn't speak. He thought she was thinking about what to do next, so he didn't disturb her. At this time, Yunwu suddenly said such a sentence, and Mu Xiaoming naturally thought that Yunwu knew the method. What do you know? Tell me about it. Mu Xiaoming looks at the Cloud Dance with a curious face. He looks like a curious baby. Yunwu figured out the joint of things and was in a good mood, but he knew whether what he thought was right or not. He had to find out for himself. Since the energy in this loophole has the effect of life and death, flesh and bones, it must not hurt people, right? Cloud Dance directly ignored Mu Xiaoming's curiosity and asked Haiyao. After a moment's silence, Haiyao continued. Theoretically, it is true. But you have the power of evil bite. You just need to mobilize it. Even if it really hurts people, it's not enough to be afraid. It seems that Yunwu is really planning to go down. In that case, let's go down and have a look. Cloud danced the corner of the mouth to start to put on a smile. This just turn ahead to see to one side anxiously wait for her to talk of Mu Xiaoming. We go down to have a look. Mu Xiaoming is stunned, some can't believe. Go down? Yes, go down. Cloud Dance nodded seriously. Then he grabbed Mu Xiaoming's wrist, and the power of evil bite in his body urged them to form a nearly transparent protective layer around them. Mu Xiaoming's eyes flashed slightly. He carefully found that the power was unusual, but he didn't say anything. Naturally, Yunwu would not explain. Although it said that the things in the pool would not hurt people, it was hard to avoid that the Dark One still had a bad heart. Therefore, I decided to protect some, and urge the power of magic bite in advance, so as to avoid any unexpected situation. When they were ready, Yunwu pulled Mu Xiaoming's wrist and jumped down. Ah, I'm not ready yet. Let me think about it. This place can't jump at will. Well, before Mu Xiaoming finished speaking, he was directly wrapped in black liquid. And then he found that his resistance was so weak that he was pulled down directly. After entering the pool, I found that what was in the pool was not a liquid at all, but a very rich black energy, just like a liquid. Yunwu released his hand, with the protection of the magic power. The black energy around him could not get close to him at all, and a vacuum was formed around him. Mu Xiaoming looked at this strange scene and said tut-tut in his heart. It was so dark under the dark pool that I couldn't see the things around me clearly. Cloud Dance fingers a flick, borrowed a touch of pure yang yen into a chain of fire, stretched forward, pure yang yen locked to the place, directly dispersed the black energy, illuminate the surrounding environment. This fire is so overbearing. Mu Xiaoming said with admiration that he felt more powerful than the black flame used before Cloud Dance. And Mu Xiaoming was more happy. The more powerful the Cloud Dance is and the more careful its mind is, it means that it doesn't have the wrong treasure. Sooner or later, the Cloud Dance will finish what it can't finish. Yunwu controls the pure yang and makes it float around. Where it passed, the black energy gave way one after another, and let Cloud Dance see all the places under the pool. Nothing. Mu Xiaoming said with a frown. Yunwu made a quick decision. Go down and have a look. Then, the pure yang yen turned into the tongue of fire extending vertically downward, the two people all the way down. The place they passed through were carefully examined, but nothing was found. There seems to be more energy down here. Mu Xiaoming is acutely aware of the changes around him. Under the protection of the power of evil bite, he can't feel the power outside the protective layer, so he has only felt it now. But Cloud Dance has already felt it. It should be the source of energy in the pool below. So it's so rich. Yunwu explained that all of a sudden, the two people who had been floating suddenly felt that their feet had stepped on the real object. In the end, Mu Xiaoming said in surprise, "Is this the only place that is so big?" Cloud Dance frowned, stepped on the ground under the feet, determined to be really at the bottom of the pool. Then he raised his hand to take back the fire chain hanging down from the top, and turned it into a circle of fire around him, spreading around him. All the spreading places were exposed in front of the clouds. What's that? Mu Xiaoming's eyes suddenly widened. Looking at a shadow not far away, his face was unbelievable. Cloud Dance's eyes slightly heavy. From see that moment we'll know what it is. Let's go and have a look. The flame was controlled and lived near the shadow. They walked over and stopped by the shadow. I saw that the shadow was a blood corpse who had not completed the transformation. The white skin of human beings and the red skin of blood corpses are very disgusting. Originally in her side, there are wisps of black energy, constantly drilling toward the skin layer. But at this time was isolated from pure yang, stopped the black energy profusion. The red skin diffusion speed instantly stopped. Here it's the place to cultivate blood corpses. Mu Xiaoming stares at the person on the ground, and says, "That is a human. If you don't look at the skin, you can see from the facial features that this is a very beautiful woman, very handsome. In this dark energy, the woman seems to have suffered so much. Her brows are tightly wrinkled, but with the red and white skin, She looks rather ferocious. That should be the reason why the blood corpses captured those humans. Cloud Dance Light said. It was not until this moment that Yunwu finally confirmed his conjecture when he saw this creature. To tell you the truth, seeing this scene, I was more disgusted with the blood corpse group. Mu Xiaoming nodded, knowing that Yunwu was right. Is there a way to make them recover? Cloud Dance eyes twinkle, looking at the people on the ground. Thinking for a while said, not sure, but you can try. With that, Yunwu squatted down, raised his hand, and mobilized the power of magic bite in his body. If she has the hope to cure this person, then that hope is the power of evil bite in her body. Now that we have passed several levels in a row, and we have a connection with this place, the power of evil bite must be different. Now let her have a try. What else is the power of the evil bite? Yunwu mobilized a little bit of the power of magic bite to enter the human body. When he entered, he felt that there was some energy running away in all directions, as if he was extremely afraid of the power of magic bite. Cloud Dance's heart suddenly relieved. It seems to be effective. Mu Xiaoming stood by and quietly watched the cloud dance. Although he could feel a special wave, he didn't know what it was. After a while, I saw a trace of black energy coming out of the human body. The moment it came out, it was burned and disappeared by the red flame. It's really effective. Mu Xiaoming looked at Yunwu in shock and said, what else can't you do? You can do anything. Cloud Dance ignored him. Wholeheartedly closed his eyes in the human body search. It was not until the last trace of black energy was expelled that my eyes finally opened. Cloud Dance stood up. Weak almost fell in the past. Thanks to the side of wood Xiaoming helped her. The thin sweat on the forehead came out. It was originally a serious injury. Now it's time to control the power of magic bite that I haven't completely mastered. It's strange that I'm not weak. If you knew that she alone could make you so weak, you should take her away, and try to save her in the future. Mu Xiaoming said with chagrin. A touch of remorse flashed in his eyes. Cloud Dance a corner of the mouth hook. Take away? When I recover, do we have a chance to come back? She saved her originally in order to know more about this place. Naturally, she had to do it as soon as possible. Mu Xiaoming is so blocked that he can't speak, so he has to take a good pill and give it to Yunwu. Cloud Dance did not refuse to eat directly. This is more comfortable. In Mu Xiaoming's eyes, he was moved by the fact that Yunwu ate his food without any doubt. Mu Xiaoming knew that Yunwu had already regarded himself as his own person, and he was excited. The people on the ground wake up, but their skin still doesn't recover. Cloud Dance can only help her expel the ineffective energy in her body, and make her not continue to transform, but it can't make her recover. Awake. The cloud dances and the cold voice rings out. People on the ground looked a little confused, and it took a long time to finally remember where they were. Cloud Dance 2 people are not anxious, until the people on the ground returned to normal, stood up, and finally asked what they want to ask. We were all captured by those bloody corpses. When a human woman opens her mouth, her eyes are full of hatred. She can see the skin on her hand and know what she looks like now. When he was captured, he was brutally tested everyone's talent. Those with potential to become blood corpses were thrown into this pool, while those without potential he killed them directly, and became the food in the mouth of those blood corpses. All of you who have been arrested are here. Yunwu asked. I don't know. I only know that there were more than a dozen people who were thrown into the pool with me. They said that the lower the level, the faster the change. Maybe someone has left. The woman thought for a moment and then said, but they send some new people in every day. Yunwu nodded and looked around. In a small area, there was only one blood corpse of this woman. Considering that the blood corpses had been killed by himself recently, it was difficult for anyone to go out and catch human beings, right? This pool should be empty for some days. The woman in front of her has been here for such a long time. She must be gifted. Cloud Dance thinks so. Turn ahead to look at a woman again. I see. Suddenly Mu Xiaoming seemed to have found something. He said excitedly. When and why did the Blood Corpse clan appear? No one knows. Now it seems that it is probably the reason for this pool. A man who breaks into the forest is affected by the pool, and becomes a blood corpse. But the blood corpse can't reproduce, so we have to go out and catch other human beings constantly to increase our number. Mu Xiaoming said so. Cloud Dance. Two people suddenly enlightened. Cloud Dance thought about it in her heart, with a smile in her eyes. You're half right. Ah. Mu Xiaoming was stunned. Half right. That's right. Yunwu nodded. I feel the energy in this pool. It doesn't hurt people, and it's even good for human beings. If someone who has been seriously injured comes here, it will only take a moment to recover. The two of them were completely shocked. Originally thought to be a brutal force, but suddenly told that this is a healing medicine. How can people accept this? It's just that this kind of power is too chaotic and violent and not so pure, so it's hard to avoid some side effects. Yunwu continued, the skin of those who have been turned into blood corpses is as red as blood, because the power is too strong. Every time they die or get hurt, their strength will gradually weaken, so they need to send that strength out through runes, so that they can recover, and gradually have dependence on this strength. That's why runes destroy them and they will die, because they don't have the ability to support them like drugs. Their vitality will be weakened, and they can't bear any pain. Cloud Dance's vision drifts to the black energy floating outside the fire circle. At this moment, she already knows why her magic power can react with these things. The power of evil bite is a dark power. It's very powerful and pure, so it doesn't have those cruel side effects when used. But this kind of power is different. They are the same as the power of magic bite, but there are too many impurities in them, which makes the human who absorbed them become cruel, bloodthirsty, alien, and even addicted. Depending on this kind of strength to survive, although the Blood Corpse clan is brutal and heinous, it has to be said that it is also sad. It's strange that they are infatuated with that power, and try to control it. People who have become blood corpses, is it possible to recover? Although Cloud Dance said so beautiful, but the woman still asked. She had seen the blood corpse with her own eyes, so even if Yunwu said the principle, she didn't want to be like that. She didn't recognize the blood corpse, and she was cruel and bloodthirsty, just for the ability of eternal life. Cloud Dance was silent for a moment, said, I can only help you, and then recover will not be able to do. You will preserve human reason, not bloodthirsty and cruel to that extent, but you need to control it all by yourself in the future. The woman nodded and made no more sound. Go to find out if there is anyone else here, and then we'll find the source. Mu Xiaoming sees the loneliness in women's eyes, but he can't say anything. Had to change the topic. Don't forget we are here for the purpose. Yunwu nodded and lifted his palm lightly. The circle of fire spread out around him again. Soon he found the figure again. Half an hour later, we searched all over the bottom of the pool, and found 12 blood corpses that had not yet been transformed successfully. Cloud Dance is too weak, and the black energy is too weak to use. The power of magic bite has no energy to use, so we have to wake them up first. As soon as the light of the summoning array flashed, a man's figure appeared in front of Yunwu, but as soon as he opened his mouth, he was directly casting his jiao at Yunwu. Mama, what's the matter with me? Cloud Dance fingertip pointed to the other side of the 12 people standing, said, Don't be coquettish, send them up. Little Stinky glanced at the half-blood corpses of those people, and his face collapsed. They are so ugly. Originally also immersed in the joy of being rescued by Cloud Dance, the crowd suddenly fell silent. Although they also know what they look like at this time, I'm afraid it's hard to see them, but they are wounded at least. Do you need to tell them directly? Come on. Come back as soon as possible. Yunwu ignores Xiaochou's complaint. Small Stink had to release pure Yangyan, will protect a few people, this just took them to go up. Go. Cloud Dance agreed, directly toward a certain direction to swim, with Xiaoming closely behind her. Now Mu Xiaoming has completely believed in the feeling of Cloud Dance. He is the first to come here. Since Cloud Dance can find the direction, he is only responsible for following. They swam in the same direction all the time, and it didn't take long for that direction to become a downward slope. There was a flash of brilliance in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. It was right to follow the Cloud Dance, through the place slowly into a channel, and finally vertical down. Cloud Dance has been speechless toward the depths of the rush, do not know how long deep. And finally at the bottom of the square appeared a horizontal channel. Cloud Dance 2 people directly drilled in. After getting out of the passage, they found that they seemed to have entered a vast ocean. The black energy is more rich than those seen in the Blood Corpse clan. Yunwu frowned, looked up at the top and made a quick decision. Go up and have a look. They tried to swim up, but a moment later they came out of the pool. Out of the moment, Cloud Dance 2 people will be shocked to look around, only to see here is actually the depths of the volcano. But unlike other volcanoes, this volcano seems to be an extinct volcano, all of which are traces of magma, but did not see the burning magma, so Cloud Dance 2 people can make this judgment. Below is a small black pool. The water seems to be blocked by some natural barrier. It's a very rich energy. Other places must have affected the surrounding environment, but there is only some energy here from time to time, sneaking out through the cracks of the natural barrier. This is the source? Mu Xiuming stares at the black pool for a long time, and turns to ask Yunwu. Cloud Dance nodded, and she knew the Black Pride in the sea also saw all this. This is the hole in the eclipse. Black Proud low voice rang out. It hasn't completely leaked out yet. If it has completely leaked out, I'm afraid that the whole life on the top of the volcano will become blood corpses, and even further places will be affected. And judging from the passage just passed, it should be the passage dug by the blood corpses in order to make use of the energy. What should I do then? Cloud Dance asked. You should cultivate yourself first. Try to use the power of magic bite to heal your wounds, and wait until you recover a little. Repair this barrier with the power of magic bite. The real loophole should still be deep. Yunwu nodded and turned to Mu Xiuming and said, I need to recover now. Mu Xiuming was stunned. Although he didn't know why, he nodded and said, Okay, I'll help you protect the Dharma. So on the edge of the black pool, Yunwu directly sat down cross-legged, and the power of magic bite in his body was mobilized, repairing the damaged meridians a little bit. Along the rotation of the week, each rotation, the body's energy will be full of a point. An hour later, Yunwu opened her eyes. All right. Mu Xiuming was surprised to see that his face was no longer pale. Well. Cloud Dance Light should weigh, stand up, looking at the bottom of the magic hole. Pull Wu Xiuming jumped in again. Ah. What are you doing? How come it's like this again? Can you say it before you pull me? You're so scary, you know? Mu Xiuming cried out miserably. He has always been the most afraid of water. Although he knows that these black things are just black energy, they are rich enough to be close to liquid. Okay. For him to jump down is to need psychological preparation. Unfortunately, Yunwu didn't know that. When they entered the pool, Yunwu stopped directly under the natural barrier, raised his arm, and the power of the evil phage in his body gushed out directly, extending to the place of the natural barrier. Well, is there a barrier here? Mu Xiuming said in surprise. He stretched out his hand and found that he couldn't touch anything. When he was confused, Yunwu just glanced at him and despised him. Mu Xiuming then remembered that he had a protective layer set by Cloud Dance, and he was embarrassed to scratch his head. Cloud Dance did not pay attention to him, and the power of magic bite in his hand continuously entered the natural barrier. Although invisible to the naked eye, Yunwu can clearly sense that the cracks on the barrier are being repaired little by little. Mu Xiuming stood on one side and looked at it quietly without disturbing. Until after a long time, the barrier above which the naked eye could not see all the time suddenly flashed a wave, and Mu Xiuming's eyes brightened. Sure enough, there are barriers. Cloud Dance has withdrawn her hand, and her face turns pale again. Sure enough, the power of magic bite is not so easy to control. Although it only uses a little, but it is still very hard. The waves above slowly become calm, and finally disappear completely, and return to the previous appearance again. Cloud Dance loosened a mouthful to go. Turn ahead to wood to repair bright to say. Good go. All right. Mu Xiuming was stunned. Did you just seal this place? Cloud Dance turns around and swims toward the bottom. Behind him, Mu Xiuming follows closely. The barrier must have been blocked by someone who passed by. After a long time, cracks appeared, and the real source of the energy was still below. Mu Xiuming nodded. When he left the passage, he obviously felt that the energy below was more intense. Now when he heard the explanation of Yunwu, he suddenly understood it. Two people have been down, after the Blood Corpse group dug channel, and continue down. Not long after Cloud Dance stopped again, a black vortex of energy appeared in front of them, as if a black hole could suck people in. Yunwu is suddenly curious about what kind of world is behind the black hole. When Mu Xiaoming saw the black hole, he was shocked and speechless. He had known for a long time that the secret of the Blood Corpse clan was not simple, but he didn't expect it to be so simple. The black whirlpool seemed to have magic power. A steady stream of black energy came out and floated upward. It was blocked under the natural barrier before, and some of it was sent to the inside of the Blood Corpse clan along the passage when it came. That's the source you're talking about? After a long time, Mu Xiaoming found his voice and looked at the black energy vortex in disbelief. Yes. Cloud Dance definitely nodded, turned his head and said to him, "I'm closer, you wait here." Said directly toward the black whirlpool to swim. The closer it gets, the more suction the vortex has, as if it would be sucked in the next moment. Yunwu doesn't dare to be careless. She knows that there is an inexplicable connection between the things behind and the power of Magic Bite. She still can't control the power of Magic Bite. If she is sucked in now, I'm afraid it won't come to a good end. She has to go to the dragon to pour out evil. She must protect herself. Be careful, don't get too close, or I won't be able to go back. Mu Xiaoming shouts at Yunwu in a loud voice for fear that she will go to another world accidentally. The Cloud Danced White He One Eye, diligently under the condition of not being sucked in again approached some, until almost reached the limit time finally stopped. How are you? Is that all right? Mu Xiaoming called again, his eyes full of worry. Shut up. Cloud Dance turns ahead to stare at him. One eye. So noisy, let her how peacefully repair loophole? Mu Xiaoming glanced at him and finally calmed down. Cloud Dance palm light lift, evil bite force gush out, toward that black whirlpool and go. This time, the vortex changes directly in front of Mu Xiaoming and Yunwu, so that they can see the process of repair more clearly. My God! Mu Xiaoming grew up and could hardly believe what he saw. I saw that when the power of Magic Bite rushed to the whirlpool, the black whirlpool, which seemed like a black hole, suddenly stopped. At that moment, they almost thought that time was also at a standstill. But then, the black whirlpool suddenly turned in the opposite direction. The crazy suction gushed out, and the surrounding black energy was directly sucked into the whirlpool. Be careful! Mu Xiaoming was made a big step forward by the sudden suction. He quickly stabilized his figure, and then yelled directly at Yunwu, his eyes full of worry. Just protect yourself. Cloud Dance had also don't return of say. At this time, she directly increased the output of the power of Magic Bite in her body, and the powerful energy was almost out of her control, as if she wanted to leave her body. The powerful energy rushes directly into the black vortex, which shrinks at the speed visible to the naked eye. Hateful suction. Cloud Dance gnashing teeth said. In order to resist the suction, she used more magic power, but she couldn't control it at all, and finally ran rampant in her body, as if to explode her. Cloud Dance while constantly output that power, but also to resist the pain in the body. The whole person has distorted a lot, but just gritted his teeth to insist. Mu Xiaoming stands not far behind him and looks at it, but he can't get in at all. All he can do is stay here quietly, and make sure that he won't be sucked away, so as not to become a burden to the Cloud Dance. At the same time, he quietly cheers for the Cloud Dance in his heart. As time goes by, the black whirlpool becomes smaller and smaller, and the black energy surrounding it is also less and less, but the suction is getting bigger and bigger. Every time Cloud Dance is about to hold on, he grits his teeth and tells himself to hold on a little bit more, and hold on a little bit more. So he sticks to it a little bit. Finally, the black whirlpool completely closed. The Cloud Dance's palm loosened. The power of Magic Bite finally stopped running, and the powerful suction disappeared in an instant. As if take off the general force, Cloud Dance in the release of the moment will be straight down. However, at this time, a figure flashed quickly, rushed to Mu Xiaoming's body and hugged Yunwu. Mama. Small Stink wrongly looking at Cloud Dance said, eyes full of worry. Mama, how can you wait for me? Let me help you is not much easier. At this moment, Yunwu felt as if his body was about to explode. The overuse of the power of magic bite completely lost control and ran rampant in his body. But the Cloud Dance, which has taken off its power, has no ability to control them at all. Quick, help her into the passage when she arrived. She's not in a good condition. Mu Xiaoming rushed to Yunwu and said as soon as he saw her. Small Stink dare not neglect. Directly Cloud Dance horizontal hold up. 3 people together toward the channel. Cloud Dance will be gently on the ground. Fortunately, the channel is wide enough. Even if the 2 people are surrounded by Cloud Dance does not appear crowded. Mu Xiaoming grabs Yunwu's wrist and closes his eyes. A trace of mysterious ability penetrates into Yunwu's body and begins to explore the situation in her body carefully. Little Stinky stares at him worried. Soon, the palm of Mu Xiaoming's hand was loose, and his face was very ugly. How's Mama? Little Stink asked quickly. Mu Xiaoming didn't speak. As soon as he turned his hand, a jade box appeared in his palm. When the jade box was opened, there were 3 crystal clear pills in it, just like white pearls. The full-bodied medicine fragrance filled the whole passage at the moment when the jade box was opened. Mu Xiaoming didn't want to, so he took out one and handed it to Yunwu's mouth. The entrance of the elixir turned into pure medicine and entered Yunwu's body. After finishing this, Mu Xiaoming took the remaining 2 back, but his face still didn't get any better. His eyes were fixed on Yunwu's face, full of worry. She is in a very bad condition. Her meridians are damaged in many places. This damage can only be repaired by her own. If she can't recover, I'm afraid she will be a useless person when she wakes up. What did you say? Little Stink grabbed Mu Xiaoming's collar. How can Mama become a useless person? She's so good. Mu Xiaoming frowned tightly, his eyes were full of worry, and he didn't even get angry with Xiao Chao's rude behavior. His eyes were always on Yunwu's body. I can't intervene in this situation. The power in her body is too unique. If I intervene, it will hurt her. A trace of pain flashed in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. It was clear that he had saved many people, but now, he couldn't even save a person he valued very much. This is not a problem that Dan Medicine can solve, but his strength is too low. If he can be stronger. Small Stinky disappointed let go of hand. Returned to Cloud Dance side, aggrieved about to cry out. The mind is not an adult. He only knows that Cloud Dance is very important to him. He knows what it means to become a useless person for Cloud Dance. I just gave her pills. Although the pill can't suppress the powerful force in her body, it can help her smooth the meridians, relieve the pain, and make her consciousness clear. In this way, she will have the ability to heal herself. As for what happens after that, it's up to her. Mu Xiaoming then said. The elixir given to Yunwu is the treasure of heaven and earth obtained by a coincidence. It's very rare. As far as he knows, there are only 3 in the world. The first one has been given to Yunwu, but he doesn't feel heartache at all. If the reason why he helped Yunwu before was because of Yunwu's hope of revenge, then at this moment he would rather Yunwu didn't have the ability to communicate with heaven than let Yunwu not wake up. I don't care what effect your pills have. I just want to be numb. Little Stinky said wrongly. He didn't know about the pill, so he didn't know the importance of the pill. However, when Mu Xiaoming heard this, he thought what he said was very reasonable. Am I that weak in your eyes? Weak voice sounded. Cloud barely opened his eyes. Just now that pill entrance, namely melt. Cloud Dance then feel vague in a cool feeling impact on brain. Let her no longer continue to be confused. Then he felt that the cool feeling led to the 4 limbs. And the feeling of explosion in the whole body weakened a lot. Yunwu knew that it must be the man in Xuani who had given himself some magic medicine. But at that time she didn't have the strength to move, so she could only absorb the medicine. Slowly, her consciousness became clearer and clearer, and finally she had the strength to wake up. Mama, are you awake? Small Stink of face surprise of call away, hurriedly forward to Cloud Dance helped up. Yunwu's face is very pale. Although he has the help of Mu Xiaoming's pills, he can use the cool medicine to make himself no longer confused. but the pain in his body has not been alleviated at all. She listened to the conversation between Mu Xiaoming and Xiao Chou, so she clearly knew what was the most urgent thing. Cloud Dance turns to one side and looks at her Mu Xiaoming with a worried face. Her voice is as cold as ever, but there is more trust and weakness. Next, I'll trouble you. Mu Xiaoming was stunned, then nodded vigorously. Don't worry, we will protect the Dharma for you. You are good to heal. Cloud Dance no longer said anything, directly closed his eyes and entered the state of cultivation. Look around, be careful someone comes in. Mu Xiaoming said seriously to Xiao Chou. Small Stink serious nodded. Two people rare did not quarrel, respectively in the Cloud Dance nearby to find a position to sit down, vigilant looking around. Although few people know about this secret passage, it is not a safe place after all. They must be vigilant. I don't know what's going on outside. Mu Xiaoming lowered his eyes and thought of it silently in his heart. This loophole has been filled, and the pool outside will dry up. I'm afraid those blood corpses won't live long, but they don't know the people of the Beast Gate thinking of this. A ray of hatred flashed in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. What he really wants to kill is the Beast Gate. Cloud Dance into the state of internal vision, the state of their own body to see clearly. Although we have known for a long time that the consequences of the uncontrolled power of evil bite must be very serious, we did not expect that it would be so serious. The power of magic bite turns into a tiny force, jumping up and down all over the body. Where you pass, you can always leave a scar on the vein. Every time, you will feel the pain of tearing. It's as if there are countless ants gnawing at the same time in your body. It's very uncomfortable. The power of elements and fighting spirit in the body are distributed everywhere. Under the pressure of the power of evil bite, the scattered power can't compete at all. In addition to the place where Dantian gathered strength, almost all other places were crushed. My God! Cloud Dance felt a headache. The situation is too difficult. She even had a trace of panic. But it soon oppressed the confusion. The power of magic bite, right? I don't believe I can't control you. Cloud Dance in the heart firm is preparing to do a big, know the sea, black proud voice suddenly sounded. First, gather the power of elements and fighting spirit together. Fighting alone is not the opponent of magic bite's power. We must use all our strength to deal with him. Black proud voice is very calm. Listened to in the ear of Cloud Dance let her very at ease. In fact, when Yunwu was seriously injured, Jihai was also affected, and Hayo, who was in the middle of Jihai, was also affected, but now he had to come out to command Yunwu's healing, because he clearly knows that if something happens to Yunwu, he will not get a good result. So even now he is struggling to speak, he still allows himself to observe everything in Yunwu's body, see everything in his eyes, and make a sound to remind him. Cloud Dance in the heart suddenly enlightened, is worried that there is no way to start, the method is sent to the door. Now Cloud Dance no longer hesitates and starts to heal according to the tips of Black Pride. Well, I see. Cloud Dance should be in my heart. The power and fighting spirit of the elements who fled under the earth-shaking power of magic bite were gathered without hesitation. A little power was not let go, and soon they were gathered into a vast ocean. Yunwu carefully separated the two forces and became two powerful forces. After all this, Yunwu only felt that the pain in her body was more intense. Originally, there were scattered forces to resist, which could have a little defensive effect, but at this time, Yunwu concentrated its strength, and there was no defensive force in other places. Cloud Dance watched the channels in her body destroyed, but there was no way. She knew that the power of the evil bite must be suppressed, otherwise, no matter how many times she mended the meridians, it would not help. Now, use these two forces to suppress the power of evil bite. Remember to refine the power of suppression for your own use. It's good for your injury. Seeing that Yunwu successfully completed the first part, Hayo began to command. Good. Cloud Dance is unambiguous, urging those two forces to attack and go towards the power of evil phage. There are hundreds of chaotic power of evil bite in the body, which must be solved one by one. The powerful force of elements and fighting spirit directly chose the latest force of magic bite as the target, and mercilessly besieged it. The power of magic bite is extremely arrogant. It's running around. The place it passes is in a mess, and the meridians are damaged. Magic bite's power is playing happily. When the two forces came, the power of evil bite seemed to have a thought, and Yunwu felt a touch of disdain, as if he didn't put the two forces in his eyes at all. I don't believe you can continue to be so arrogant later. Cloud Dance thought in the heart, and then impolitely directed the two forces to devour the magic. The power of magic bite was swallowed by those two forces in an instant. Yunwu felt that although the power was trapped, it had not yet been refined. At the moment, it was impolite and oppressed. A battle with the power of evil bite begins in the body. In the blood corpse field, it was already a mess at this time. The blood corpses who were known to be weak still have a lot of strength. As long as they don't find the rune, they can gain strength continuously. But at this time, the secret room in the mountain palace has been affected and can no longer provide power for them. The blood corpses have long been red-eyed. Without the source of power, they seem to be crazy one by one and become more tyrannical. Dash! What's the matter? Why do these blood corpses suddenly become so irritable? A rough man who had just killed a blood corpse wiped the blood off his face and yelled at a man beside him at the top of his voice. The man seemed to be the leader of the team. Obviously, he also found the problem. He turned to look at the rough man, but his eyes were attracted by the blood corpse that had just been cut to death. Look, as if the man had found the new world. He pointed to the blood corpse on the ground and said, "They can't recover the wound." The rough man was stunned. He was always careless. He didn't notice this at all. At this time, when he heard the man mention it, he quickly looked at it. As expected, it was the same as what the man said. Wow! How did these blood corpses start to bite? And sucking blood? Another voice came from the other side. The rough man and the man looked at it at the same time. Sure enough, they saw the blood corpse over there. They didn't know how it was not a fight. It's like crazy, holding human beings and gnawing at random, mercilessly grasping the place where they can bite, looking at the throat rolling all the time. We know that they are actually sucking blood. What's the matter? How did the bloody corpse start to suck blood? The rough man looked confused, but he didn't have time to figure out why, so he rushed into the battle, because a bloody corpse bit him. The man in charge of the team looked at the scene in front of him in shock, but he couldn't react to why. But soon he found that those crazy blood corpses were mostly injured blood corpses. After they drank blood, their wounds began to heal, as if human blood could bring strength to them. It turns out that those blood corpses who lose the source of strength will get strength from other aspects, and blood is the most attractive and the first choice for them. But these humans fighting outside don't understand why. They only know that it's good for them, because all the blood corpses are at the end of a crossbow. Before long, all the blood corpses will be destroyed. Don't be afraid, these blood corpses won't live long. As long as they don't let them suck blood, they won't be able to heal the wound. Let's go. Kill the blood corpse and avenge our people. The man excitedly spread the news. When those confused people heard the news, they suddenly felt refreshed. One by one, they seemed to see the dawn of victory and fought harder. Kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people. Kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people. Kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people slogans resounded in the whole blood corpse field, far away, with a very strong sense of war towards the internal spread. Deep in the mountain palace, it took Yunwu nearly 2 hours to control the power of evil bite in his body. At the beginning, it was very difficult to deal with the power of evil phage by relying on the strength and fighting spirit of its own elements. But the more it got to the back, the power of evil phage gradually transformed into its own power. Cloud Dance will feel more comfortable when dealing with the power of evil bite, which makes trouble everywhere, and the power of evil bite, which turns into its own use, is constantly enhancing the strength of Cloud Dance. It's just that when the power of magic bite is completely engulfed by Yunwu's physical condition has been weakened to a certain extent. If she is weaker, I'm afraid all previous achievements will be wasted. Even if she controls the power of magic bite, it's useless. Mu Xiaoming and Xiao Smelly looked at Yunwu's face more and more pale, almost no blood color, as if there was no life in general. Terrible. What to do? If you go on like this, How can you heal if you are so weak? How can I heal myself for half an hour and become weaker and weaker? Little Stinky turns around in a hurry, but there is nothing to do. He can only look at Mu Xiaoming eagerly, hoping that he can give some ideas. Mu Xiaoming is also very worried, but Yunwu is in the state of cultivation at this time, and he can't help, for fear that if he is not careful he will disturb Yunwu's steps. Don't worry, I'll try. Mu Xiaoming guessed the progress of Yunwu, and felt that Yunwu would choose to control the strength in her body before healing. In this way, what she could help was to help her relieve the pain in her body, and repair the meridians. In this way, without hesitation, Mu Xiaoming took out the jade box, and then took out a pill and fed it into Yunwu's mouth. Yunwu felt something close to her mouth, and the strong fragrance of medicine lingered on the tip of her nose. Then she knew that it must be Mu Xiaoming again. Now without hesitation, she opened her mouth and swallowed the pill. At this time, her injury was too serious to be polite with Mu Xiaoming. Today's kindness can only be repaid in the future. At the entrance of the pill, the cool feeling came again. Yunwu finally felt more comfortable, and began to repair the mess in the body wholeheartedly. Seeing that the pill was taken, Yunwu's face was a little better. Mu Xiaoming was relieved to know that he had guessed right. How's it going? Little Stink can't see Yunwu's injury. As the summoner of Cloud Dance, he can feel some, but in the face of this little changed injury, he is not sure. In his induction, Cloud Dance is still seriously injured. Don't worry, Mu Xiaoming said. Now that she has the ability to heal herself, she will gradually improve, but the process may be a little long. Don't you have another pill? Let's eat it together. Can it be better and faster? Little Stink said quickly. He didn't forget that there was still a war outside. Cloud dancing was dangerous if he didn't wake up. Mu Xiaoming smokes at the corner of his mouth. How can he feel the Little Stink? It's like he gave Yunwu sugar beans? You know, that pill is very rare. Little Stinky turned his mouth and said to Mu Xiaoming, Don't you want to give up? What are you talking about? Mu Xiaoming's eyes glared. Do you think this pill is sugar beans? Eat what you want. She can't absorb another pill. Instead, she wasted a pill. This medicine is very powerful. It's not good for her to take too much. On the contrary, she has to be distracted to deal with that medicine. Little Smelly Smell speech, brow can't help but wrinkle. He to Dan medicine, but what all don't know. Even before starting, his parents give him Dan medicine. Up to now, still don't move. Hearing what Mu Xiaoming told him, Little Stink couldn't help but ask, Really? What do you say? With Xiaoming eyes a stare, now Cloud Dance injury began to improve. He also finally had the idea of joking. Then he said, Besides, in case of any special situation later, how much can I reserve one pill? If I finish it at one time, what can I do after that? This small stink is to understand, then nodded and said, Oh, you also have a point, that's it. After that, he went back to the previous position, and continued to protect the Dharma. Mu Xiaoming choked. How could he listen to Xiao Chao's words so much as if he was listening to him? But at this time in front of Yunwu, in order not to disturb Yunwu's healing, they can't quarrel loudly, so Mu Xiaoming glares at Xiao Chao fiercely and sits down in his own position. Outside the mountain palace, a group of Blood Corpse clan's experts came back in a mess and concentrated on the main hall in the mountain palace. The Blood Corpse king looked at the blood corpses of no more than 10 standing below with a desolate face. Some human skin appeared more or less on each blood corpse. Unexpectedly, my Blood Corpse clan has come to today after all. The king of the Blood Corpse laughed and sighed. These blood corpses are all the top blood corpses of the Blood Corpse family. They are also the blood corpses who spent the longest time in the pool when they became blood corpses. Different from other blood corpses, they have an ability that other blood corpses don't have. That is, when they no longer carry out energy supply, they can become human again by some means, but the cost of changing back is huge. When they change back, life is no more than 10 years. That's why only a few of them can withdraw. Judging from the situation of the war, they already knew that the pool had been destroyed, and there was only one way to destroy the pool, that is, to plug up the hole of magic erosion. Once the pothole is fixed, they can't get it through again with their power. Kingwei. A bloody corpse of a woman came forward. She was pretty, but her face was red and white, which made people look terrible. The Blood Corpse King knew what she was going to say as soon as he saw her. He waved his hand and said, "Needless to say, we blood corpses have killed a lot of human beings. After so many years, they have long wanted to kill us. Even if we all become human, they will not let us go." As soon as the Blood Corpse King's words were finished, all the blood corpses present were silent. They knew it would be. If they had not coveted the magic power, how could they have become what they are now? Those people of the Beast Gate are really unreliable. A bloody corpse spat. At the time of the war, we expected them to do more. If they were willing to do it, why should we be so far? But it's good that they all ran away when they saw that we were going to be destroyed. Well, those people. Another blood corpse also sneered and said, "They are just like us. They will do whatever they want for the benefit. Originally, it was to take that person away, but now I can't take him away. What else can I do if I don't leave? It's just a pity that we didn't have time to take advantage of that person, so it's over." Hearing the blood corpse mention that person, the Blood Corpse King's eyes flashed and then fell silent. Well, if those attackers came for that person, we might have a chance to survive, but now. King, that pool. A blood corpse suddenly thought of something, stepped forward and said, "That pool is very secret. How could it be destroyed suddenly? Is there anyone sneaking into the interior?" The Blood Corpse King was stunned, and then he remembered. On the battlefield, the blood corpse who was responsible for guarding the room had been killed, leading them to forget this. "Go and have a look," the Blood Corpse King said immediately. A group of blood corpses did not hesitate to follow the Blood Corpse King to a room. Anyway, staying outside is also death. At this time, it doesn't matter what they do. Soon, the door of the room opened, and all the black runes had turned into white. The rest of the runes were still changing. And the pool in the middle of the room has become empty, and no more meaningful energy can penetrate out. This. A blood corpse clan shocked the exit, but found himself unable to say anything. Even if you already know what it is, you will be shocked when you see it with your own eyes. Originally, there was not a drop left in the pool. With the black energy of making a fortune, they will never appear again. King. Those who destroyed the pool must be down here. Let's go and have a look. We're going to die anyway. Before we die, we'll pull them into the water. A blood corpse stares at the bright red eyes to say the heart voice of several blood corpses. Even now, what they think is to pull people into the water. Yes. Let's go down and have a look. Maybe those people haven't left yet. The Blood Corpse King's eyes narrowed slightly, flashing a cruel light. And at the same time, there was a touch of fear. The person who can repair that loophole must be strong. However, they are all dying people. Will they be afraid of these? King. Even if we don't go, when those people outside break in, we'll be dead as well. A strong blood corpse said in a loud voice. Originally as a human, he was extremely bloodthirsty. Later, he became a blood corpse without fear. Now he's going to die again. What are you afraid of? After hearing his words, the King of Blood Corpse glared and said, "Good. Let's go." Several blood corpses rushed to the pool. And in the depth of the secret road, the two people who were protecting the cloud dance also opened their eyes in an instant. Small Stinky Smell and Would Fix Bright, two people to look at each other, saw serious on each other's face. Finally, it's coming. It's so fast and familiar. It seems that it's the blood corpses. I know the pool has been destroyed. I've come to seek revenge. Mu Xiaoming raised a smile at the corner of his mouth and said coldly. Little smelly face rare appeared a touch of maturity. Blood corpse just, without the black energy supply, where can they be powerful? See if I don't blow them up. Mu Xiaoming's vision stayed for a moment on Yunwu's body, and said softly to Xiaoqiu. Don't let them disturb her, make a quick decision. Little Stink nodded seriously. Don't worry, I know the weight. They stood up and stood shoulder to block Yunwu behind them, facing the direction when they came. But for a moment, several figures appeared in the secret road. There are no more than 1,000 residents on a large island, But the economy and construction here are far more than other continents. In an inn, Situlan sat cross-legged on it and practiced with his eyes closed. The aura of this island is very strong, which is very good for cultivation. If it is possible, he will stay here for some days. Cluck! The door of the room was suddenly knocked. Then a guard's voice rang out. Master Situ, welcome to the city, master. At last, Situlan opened his eyes and retreated from the cultivation state. It has been several days since he arrived at this island. During this time, he always wanted to leave here, but he found that the island is huge, surrounded by the sea, but there is no boat. Situlan didn't know where he was and couldn't even tell the direction. The residents of this island have never left here, and some people who arrive here by accident are never allowed to leave, because this is a peaceful island with a lot of wealth. They are worried that someone will spread the news and bring war here. So the lord of the city ordered that all the ships be destroyed and no one be allowed to leave. Situlan tried his best to see the lord of the city. After helping him a lot and making repeated promises, he was finally summoned today. If there is no accident, he is afraid that the lord of the city will promise to send him away. He followed the bodyguard all the way into the lord's mansion, and finally met a charming and noble woman in the reception room. You all go down. And the appearance of the coquettish different. The voice of the lord is very cold. Said the words, let people dare not violate. Yes. The bodyguards and maids left one after another. Situlan was standing in the middle of the room, looking at the lord of the city. The lord of the city is thinking about it? Decide to let me go? City lord, a pair of charming eyes in Situlan's body circulation. The corners of the mouth evoke a trace of smile. Situlan stood there quietly, letting her look at him, not moved at all. After a long time, the city lord finally sighed, took back his gaze and breathed out. What's wrong with me here? What makes you have to leave? Situlan was not moved, and directly ignored the friendship of the city lord. My friends, I have to find them. He's a man of love. The city master shook his head and said with a smile, do you know that if I let you go, I'll bet the whole island. Once you leave, I'll tell you what happened on my island. The lord can rest assured. Situlan directly interrupted the city lord's words. I, Situlan, said to do, even to my friends, will never reveal a word. More will not say to irrelevant people. If it brings you war, Situlan is willing to be buried with you. The city master's eyes flashed, as if thinking whether Situlan's words could be believed. Situlan didn't urge him, so he stood there waiting for the result of the lord. Finally, the city master smiles. Don't you know the result of my calling you today? Situlan just showed a smile and said, thank you for your help. The city lord raised his hand and said, don't get excited. I don't mean to let you go. In fact, I don't want to leave this island just because I let you go. Situlan frowned and didn't understand what she meant. Since the people on this island destroyed the ship hundreds of years ago, they didn't even leave the drawings. The only way to make the ship is in the lord's mansion. Even if I give it to you, you can't make it. I can't allow someone in the city to build it. Situlan felt relieved. It turned out that this was the reason. So I don't know if the lord of the city can provide warcraft that can fly, so I can leave directly. The lord shook his head. There are seas all around. No flying warcraft can fly past. Situlan is a lung, didn't expect to be like this. What's the master's way? The lord sighed and said, if you want to leave, I can provide you with a way, but whether you can go back to your friends or not depends on you. Situlan frowned. What do you mean? The city lord turned around and said, if you want to leave here, there is only one way, that is to use the water drop to walk back from the bottom of the sea. Situlan's pupils shriveled, as if he had heard something terrible. Walk back? This vast sea that can't even fly to warcraft asks him to go back? But when I think about it, if there is a way to avoid water drops, at my own speed, as long as I bring enough food and water, it's not impossible. The biggest difficulty in walking back is not the distance, but the danger you may encounter along the way. The Lord spoke again. Avoiding water beads can't really avoid the water. It can only protect you from the invasion of the sea within 3 feet around you. At that time, if you encounter any danger at the bottom of the sea, You can't be protected by avoiding water drops. Said here, Situlen already understood. In the vast ocean, there are many undeveloped warcraft and tribes, whose strength is very strong. What's more terrible is that if we meet them, the place to fight is underwater, which is much more difficult than fighting on land. In short, the danger level in the shallow sea is comparable to that in the depth of Warcraft forest, not to mention walking back, destined to go through the deep sea. So, do you want to leave? The city lord turns around and looks at Situlan with beautiful eyes, expecting his answer. Situlan's eyes twinkled with a firm look and said, "Yes. My friend is waiting for me." The city lord's eyes flashed a trace of loss, and he laughed at himself. "Sure enough, you still want to leave, I know you are such a person." Situlan's lips moved, but he didn't say anything at last. From the island to the present, the lord of his good he is very clear, but he cannot respond. Since we can't respond, we'd better not give any hope. What's more, I'm afraid I will never see you again. The city master sighed and turned his hand. A crystal clear white pearl appeared in the palm of his hand. Situlan's eyes were instantly attracted in the past. Just a glance, he knew that this was the bead of avoiding water from the legend. After taking the bead from the city master, Situlan is preparing to put it into his personal space. But I heard the Lord suddenly say, "This thing must be worn on the body to be effective. If it is damaged, it will be discounted. If it is destroyed, it will have no effect." Situlan was surprised in the heart and nodded solemnly, wearing the water-avoiding bead carefully on his body. "Thank you for your gift. I'll see you later," Situlan said, arched his hand to the city master, and turned to leave. "Goodbye. In fact, I will never see you again." The city lord looked at Situlan's back and whispered sound into Situlan's ears, but did not let his feet stop half a minute. In the desert, Chiyis fell to the ground weakly, his lips dried up, his clothes were cut, and there were many wounds on his body, and even some wounds had black blood flowing out. "It's really a sand scorpion. It's so hard to deal with." Chi Knight corner of the mouth raises a smile. Looking at nearby scattered pieces of sand scorpion body, Weak said. The venom spread not fast, but Chi Knight lost the ability of action. In the desert, there is no way to detoxify. What's more, she has no strength to move now. I'm afraid today, she can't leave here anymore. I'm not reconciled. Chi Yi's lowered his head, looked at the spreading black on his body and murmured, "I haven't found you yet. I don't know what happened to you." Chi Knight's voice is getting smaller and smaller, and finally a sense of vertigo strikes, making her feel like she's going to sleep at any time. Gradually blurred vision, until the ground cannot see the body of Sand Scorpion, and finally heavy toward the ground fell down. This time, I left completely. Before fainting, Chi Yi's thought in her heart. In the swamp, Shangguan carefully hid behind the lush grass, and looked at a strange-looking warcraft not far away. His mouth water was about to flow out. I've been in this ghost place for so long, and finally let me see a bigger warcraft. If I don't catch you, I'll have a good meal, the Shangguan said, holding the weapon tightly. In the swamp, the most common poisons are all kinds of poisons, and the best ones are sneak attack and use poisons. Moreover, due to the small size, the Shangguan has never had a chance to eat meat well. He has been impatient for a long time, and suffered serious physical and mental suffering. In recent days there are no more shrubs around, but some tall trees, less and less marshes, and more compact land, which means that Shangguan has gone from marshes to forests. According to past experience, Shangguan knew that he was going in the right direction. He was afraid that he would not lack food next. Now I finally saw the first strong warcraft. How can I let it go easily? Dear, I won't hurt you. Come here a little more. Shangguan prayed in his heart. His long fight with poisons led to some changes in his fighting habits, especially when hunting for food, which made him more aware of the importance of hiding. Moo. Warcraft let out a cry, like looking for food, slowly leaning towards the direction of Shangguan, did not notice the imminent danger. Right now. As soon as Shangguan's eyes brightened, the warcraft had turned away from him. Shangguan rushed out directly, and the weapon in his hand chopped at the warcraft head. Moo dash, the scream of Warcraft resounded, startled a piece of birds in the surrounding trees, as if in great pain. And Shangguan jumped to its back at the same time. Then the pain of rolling up. Shangguan tightly grasped the corner of Warcraft's head to keep himself from falling down. At the same time, he was looking for the weakness of Warcraft and was ready to attack at any time. All of a sudden, the rolling Warcraft showed a little flaw. Shangguan showed no mercy. He turned his hand and wiped the Warcraft's neck directly. A scream rang out, and the Warcraft fell to the ground heavily. Well, I thought I could fight. It turned out to be a cub. It died in a moment. Shangguan then found out that it was a Warcraft. It seemed that it was an underage Warcraft. He immediately scratched his head. But it's okay. Let's have a baby. It's tender. With that, Shangguan started to pick up the little beast. Although it's a cub, it's bigger than an adult cow. It's troublesome to clean up, but Shangguan enjoys it. It's big enough for me to eat for a long time. I really made money this time. I think there will be a lot of delicious food in the future. Totally immersed in the joy of picking up the food, Shangguan didn't find that somewhere behind him, an adult Warcraft was getting closer and closer, and a pair of beasts seemed to have fire in their eyes. On the other side, human beings. Several bloodthirsty eyes of blood corpses glared at the wood Xiaoming, and the little stink standing in front of them, gritting their teeth. And the summoner? Another blood corpse's sharp eyes saw the identity of little stink. Are you the human who has been killing our blood corpses? Mu Xiaoming's eyes flashed a clear emotion. As these blood corpses will he as Cloud dance? People who have been killing blood corpses? They're not even the same sex, okay? Are these blood corpses blind? No, not him. Another blood corpse said. The human who killed our fellow is a woman. They should be partners. There must be people around here. Are you mistaken? Mu Xiaoming finally said. Where do you see people here? At this time, they were at a corner of the passage, so the blood corpses didn't find the figure of Cloud dance, but as long as they passed the corner behind Mu Xiaoming, they would find the Cloud dance in the serious injury. The strength of these blood corpses is not weak, but also a large number of people. If you really fight in front of Yunwu, it will hurt Yunwu, so no matter what, you can't let them find the existence of Yunwu. Well, who cares? Since you are here, you must have blocked the loophole. You're all with the people out there. The Blood Corpse King said viciously. In this case, don't blame us for being rude. Give it to me. Kill them. Yes, the blood corpses answered the voice together. In the narrow space, the speed did not decrease at all. They rushed to Mu Xiaoming quickly. Mu Xiaoming showed no sign of weakness. A long sword appeared in Mu Xiaoming's hand. Looking at the blood corpse, his eyes were filled with cold, and his hands were merciless. The space is narrow, and the little stink can't be turned into Numenon at all, but the action is also unambiguous. As a summoner of Cloud Dance, his realm is the same as that of Cloud Dance. How can he not beat these blood corpses? Small stinky hands into sharp claws, between the sharp pan cold light. Although it can't be turned into Numenon, it's okay to make a part of the body become animal. The sharp claw is no less than the weapon of Mu Xiaoming. You know, the best weapons are all made of a part of the body of Warcraft. How can the advanced Warcraft compare with the claws of pure blood demon Huang? Phoenix. Blood corpses also have extraordinary insight. See small stinky animal claw light out. Suddenly someone sharp eyes to see the small stinky body. But even so, they dare not delay. As time goes on, more and more of them become human. What changes with it is their strength. The more they tend to be human, the less their ability to belong to blood corpses will be, and the weaker they will be. Therefore, in any case, they should seize all the time to deal with these two people, otherwise the chance of victory will only be smaller and smaller. No matter what phoenix or chicken, I'll kill them all. Blood Corpse King also saw the race of Small Stink, but still domineering said. This word fell in the ear of Small Stink, instantly ignited the anger of pure blood demon Huang. You are the chicken. I can't even recognize my noble blood. I'm blind. Damn it, I have to destroy you. Pure blood demon Huang's dignity can't be violated. Small Stinky clean holding a pair of claws to the blood corpses. Every time the claws collided with the blood corpse's weapon, a flash of fire would appear, and the sound of bang and bang would sound like a metal collision. Even if we were dealing with several blood corpses at the same time, we still didn't fall behind. Hello. Be careful, they should all have their own special effects. Mu Xiaoming didn't know the name of Xiaoqiu, so he had to shout hello, and he was worried. Looking at Xiao Smelly's angry appearance, I'm worried that he's in a mess. I see. Little Stink grunted. Although he didn't like him to call himself that, he really didn't want him to know that his name was Xiaoqiu. He would rather the man in black clothes call himself hello. Anyway, he didn't know his name either. More than a dozen figures stand together, although there is no dazzling brilliance, but everywhere is full of danger. It's like a fight between martial arts experts. In this narrow space, everyone's ability of close combat has been brought into full play. The sound of sonorous resounds through the secret road, just like the clank of thousands of horses, which is extremely dangerous. How can these blood corpses be completely different from those before? Small Stinky frowned and said, can't reveal the body, for his strength greatly discount. Therefore it was very difficult to deal with these blood corpses. After taking a breath, he immediately began to complain. The former blood corpse? A blood corpse sneered. Our blood corpse clan can be divided into several levels. How can those low-level blood corpses compare with us? Said here, the blood corpse's eyes flashed a touch of pride. In the blood corpse clan, their status is comparable to that of emperors and generals in the world. They are superior and naturally do not want to be associated with those low-level blood corpses. But now this scene, and then make such expressions, will only let the little Stink feel very disgusted. Say as if you are very noble. Anyway, are all blood corpses, in the end is not the same as destroyed? Little Stinky said with a sneer, with deep contempt in his eyes. The bloody corpse was enraged instantly, and the pupil color that had recovered turned red again, as if he had been greatly humiliated. However, little Stink is still not going to let go. What are you doing? Is that right? All blood corpses are the same abominable, so pay attention to the whole clan being destroyed. After today, even if you hide here, you will be found and found out. Blood corpse shrieks. The big knife on the hand looks to the small Stink crazily. The shrill voice was very sharp. Go to die. Hateful human beings. It's all you. It's all you. The blood corpses attacked even more fiercely, as if they could return to their former glory as long as they killed Xiaoqiu and Xiaoqiu, but they forgot that they did not treat themselves as human beings when they said this. Be careful. A bloody corpse attacked from behind. Mu Xiaoming noticed it with sharp eyes. He was in a flash. Regardless of the fact that there were several blood corpses on his side, he quickly stepped forward and went up with the sword in his hand. With a bang, Mu Xiaoming stepped back. At the same time, the other attacks behind him had already arrived, and Mu Xiaoming quickly dodged the past, which could be avoided. The bloody corpse who attacked Xiaostink failed in one attack, and then he cut it off to Xiaostink's shoulder. Xiaostink turned around and grabbed it with cold claws. With a bang, the weapon of the bloody corpse was cut in two. It's a weapon made of excellent rhinoceros horn. How can you? The blood corpse looks at the upper part of the hand to become the weapon of two half, not from of a burst of heartache. At the beginning, he wasted a lot of energy in order to get this weapon. He thought he could accompany him for a long time, but he didn't expect that he was just split by little Stink. Rhinoceros horn? Is that great? Small Stinky one faced disdains of say, lifted to lift own claw. This emperor's claw is the most fierce. Little Stinky words haven't finished. One side suddenly a fire whip pocket had split down. I've been with Cloud Dance for a long time, and I'm a warcraft of fire attribute, so I'm very sensitive to fire attribute. Phew. As soon as he twisted, he flashed to one side before the whip fell. He turned to look at the bloody corpse with the whip. Her face was red and white, but her eyes were very beautiful. What do you love about weapons now? Kill him, take his paws and make a better weapon. The female blood corpse said a word. Immediately let the blood corpse of before play spirit. Good. Take the phoenix's paw as a weapon. Blood corpse strange said with a smile, looking at the small stinky eyes very unfriendly. Small smelly eyes slightly heavy, coldly said, "Want to take my paw as a weapon? It also depends on whether you have the ability." After that, he rushed forward again and fought with the blood corpses. At Mu Xiaoming on the other side, a long sword swung fast. Although there was no summoner to help, the melee skill that could draw with Yunwu was not bad. It's natural to deal with these blood corpses. From time to time, we should also pay attention to whether there are blood corpses going deep into the secret passage. We should also pay attention to whether the little stink is busy. By the way, we can give a voice to remind them twice, looking at the overall situation. There are 10 blood corpses, each of which is the strongest expert in the Blood Corpse clan, including the Blood Corpse King. Each of them was faced with 5 blood corpses. At the beginning, they had some difficulty, but the more they got to the back, they felt comfortable. They both thought it was just because they knew how to attack effectively and didn't notice anything. The blood corpses were more and more difficult, and there were many wounds on them gradually. Although it's not fatal, it's very hard for them who have felt pain for many years, because the pain on their body makes their actions dull. Finally, the sword passed over the neck of a bloody corpse. Puff, the blood spurted out. A blood corpse heavily fell on the ground, can no longer recover, and the red and white body, also in an instant back to the human body. The Blood Corpse King stares at Mu Xiaoming fiercely, with incomparable anger in his heart. These are the last blood corpses of the Blood Corpse clan. I thought I could kill these 2 people without any effort, but I didn't expect that I would die in their hands so soon. What's the matter? Mu Xiaoming opened his eyes innocently and asked, "Can't you do it? It's just a contest." "A contest? Then why do you have to kill me? I thought I could kill it." Mu Xiaoming looked innocent, as if he was just a child who did something wrong, but he vomited the blood directly. They were just angry for a moment. They felt sorry for the death of a bloody corpse, but this Mu Xiaoming said it directly. "Well, don't be proud of yourself," the Blood Corpse King hums coldly and says to Mu Xiaoming. "It's just a blood corpse. It's too early for you to win." After that, the weapon in his hand hit Mu Xiaoming again. Mu Xiaoming dodged to one side with a flash of his body. At the same time, he picked the long sword lightly in his hand and resolved all the successive attacks. "I can't do it. The more you fight, the braver you are. Why are you all getting older and weaker? Is that true of all blood corpses? Or are you the only ones? Have you been a high-level member of the Blood Corpse clan for too long?" Mu Xiaoming said with a smile. It didn't look like a fight at all. The speaker has no intention, the listener has intention. Listen to Mu Xiaoming say such words. Several blood corpses in the presence of the heart at the same time clatter. A sound, like his secret was found in general. At the same time, the first thought that surged into my heart was not guilty, but, this person must die. Ah, bloody corpse. How long has it been since you brushed your teeth? It stinks. Small stink a shout, frowned to say. The bloody corpse opened its mouth to him, as if it wanted to eat him. "Phoenix blood, if you can drink it, are you worried about the lack of energy?" But before the blood corpse came near, little Stink asked about the stench in the blood corpse's mouth. Now he kicked him out mercilessly, and left a word of disgust. The bloody corpse screamed miserably, and was directly kicked out by this kick. It hit the wall of the secret road heavily, and then fell to the ground heavily. "Well, what a dirty race." Small Stink disgusted said, but suddenly feel kick people also quite cool, and even some eager to try. The blood corpse people always eat raw meat and drink blood, and they never wash their teeth. Naturally, they have bad breath, but no one dares to say it. When human beings are afraid, who will pay attention to halitosis? It's just a little stink, because a blood-sucking corpse directly speaks out halitosis. Stinking Phoenix. Don't be too proud. Say we have bad breath. I think you are the smelliest. Another bloody corpse said viciously, then directly rushed up, the weapon on the hand to the small Stinky head directly cut up. Little Stinky didn't bother to pay attention to him. He twisted his body, looked for a tricky angle, kicked hard, and kicked a bloody corpse out again. "Do I stink the most? You can't smell it?" Little Stinky said haughtily. The blood corpses gnash their teeth and rush up one by one. The little stink kicks off one by one. After kicking off, he rushes up again. It's a lot of fun. I'll kick you to death. Small stink deftly dodged an attack, raised his foot and kicked the blood corpse's stomach, but as soon as he kicked out, he heard Mu Xiaoming's voice. Hello. No, Mu Xiaoming cried in panic. The direction of flying out was the depth of the secret road. However, it's too late. Little stink has a good time. Why can't he kick it? He directly kicked the blood corpse to the depth of the secret road. Until the blood corpse landed, he suddenly realized that he was in trouble. Small stink quickly want to rush up, but behind a fire whip attack again. Small stink in the heart anew. To that female blood corpse horizontal eyebrow cold shout away. Got a fire whip to be great. I think it's very powerful, right? I'll let you know whose fire is more serious now. Having said that, a small touch of pure yang directly spit out from the mouth, although only a wisp, but instantly will be filled with hot air in the secret road. What is this? Several blood corpses felt the temperature of the fire and cried out in shock. Small stink ignore them, leaving a touch of pure yang, then directly toward the depths of the rush. There's another one here. The blood corpse who was kicked out was dizzy. If it was brought back immediately, it would not be so. However, it's a pity that both Mu Xiaoming and Xiaoqiu are caught in action. When Xiaoqiu comes here, the blood corpse has found the existence of cloud dance. Small stinky face a sink, directly rushed forward. Beast claw a wave, directly cut off the blood corpse's neck. With a puff sound, blood gushed out and dyed the mountain wall of the secret road red. Mu Xiaoming's face is also very. This phoenix, how don't you know to pay attention to it? Oh, and humans? After hearing this, the king of blood corpse did not rush to attack. As soon as he withdrew, he watched Mu Xiaoming being entangled by other blood corpses and said, "It seems that that person is what you want to protect. What's wrong with her? Is it hurt? Or a breakthrough? Are you all protecting the law for her? Afraid she'll be disturbed?" Every time the king of blood corpse said a word, Mu Xiaoming's face sank, because what the king of blood corpse said was right. Hey, I'm really curious. Why don't I go and have a look? Said. The blood corpse king's figure moves, flies directly toward inside. I see who can pass. Small stink a roar, as he creates the disaster, by him to carry. Red as blood flame from the body, small stink cold looking at the rushing blood corpse king. The flame under his control into a wall of fire, directly bet on the secret road thoroughly. The scorching high temperature announced the difficulty of the flame. If it wasn't for the small stink's intentional control, I was afraid that the stones in the secret passage would melt. Want to go? Sure. As long as you are not afraid of being turned into a roast pig, little stink said coldly, with a serious look on his face. It seems that Xiaoqiu, who is coquettish to Yunwu in peacetime, is not a person at all. At this time, he seems to be back to the pure blood demon Huang who was in the Phoenix family, shouldering heavy responsibilities and extremely important. Blood corpse king brow jump. That flame just looking at them very fierce. But even so, intuition tells him that the people in the deep are their only chance to win. If they can't pass, then they are doomed to lose here. But it's obviously impossible to break through. You have a great flame. The blood corpse king stands in front of the little stink, does not show any comfort. On the contrary, he says to the little stink. Small stinky brow a pick proud answer. Do you say? The blood corpse king's heart sank, but he didn't believe it on his face. He said coldly, I don't think so. All the blood corpses are entangled with Mu Xiaoming, so that he can't come to help, but in the face of a little stinky phoenix, the blood corpse king feels that he always has some chances of winning. Not so good. Small stink this time, but not be deceived. That you beat me first. Just have the qualification to try in the end fierce not fierce. Having said that, a pair of claws directly raised, toward the blood corpse king rushed up. In the face of the blood corpse king, the pressure of the little stink suddenly reduced a lot, even if the blood corpse king's strength is much higher than other blood corpses. But it is also easier than dealing with smart blood corpses. The king of the blood corpse rushed up fearlessly. He saw a lot of the fight between the little stink and the blood corpse just now. Seeing that Xiao Smelly hadn't even won a bloody corpse for a long time, he thought that his strength was not so good, and he was so garrulous that he certainly had no ability, but did not expect two people on a pair, Small Stink even directly occupy the upper hand. The Blood Corpse King wanted to cry without tears, but he had to fight hard. He looked at the wall of fire from time to time, and his body became weaker and weaker. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid he will die directly in the hands of Little Stinky without waiting for him to cross the wall of fire. The King of Blood? I thought it was very powerful. That's all Little Stinky said with a sneer. Even if it is so arrogant and delicate to say, the face is no longer the previous childish. Blood Corpse King's face is very ugly, but also know that Little Stink is telling the truth. Now his strength is only half of the heyday, and is still declining. How could it be so powerful? But this must not be said. Even if the other party finds something, they cannot say it, otherwise, what if they fight a protracted war? For today's sake, we still need to find out the people behind the wall of fire. Blood Corpse King in the mind of idea continuously move. On the face of a pair of high cold appearance, don't talk more with Small Stink. Well, didn't you talk a lot just now? Why don't you talk now? Are you tired? Little Stinky Mouth raised a smile and said to the Blood Corpse King, a friendly look. The Blood Corpse King's face was instantly gloomy. Seeing the strength getting worse and worse, finally, the King of Blood Corpse decided to wait. If you wait any longer, you can't find a way to break through the wall of fire. You'd better rush in directly. If you can't rush in, you'll die. But if you don't rush in, you'll die. Maybe you've passed. So think. Blood Corpse King, a twist body, broke away from the Small Stink of entanglement, directly toward the wall of fire. Small Stink originally wanted to continue to chase, but a look at the direction of the Blood Corpse King, immediately holding his arm, ready to stay in place to watch him. Want to go through pure yang? It seems that the Blood Corpse King is impatient. The King of Blood Corpse only focuses on running to the fire. Where can he notice the reaction of the Little Stink behind him? When he ran to the front of the fire wall and felt the hot breath on the fire wall, the Blood Corpse King had some hesitation in his heart. But now, how can we still hesitate? At present, the Blood Corpse King's heart, a ruthless, will directly drill into. But right here, the bloody wall of fire suddenly moved. Not far behind, Xiao Chou looks at Huqiang with surprise, but Mu Xiaoming, whose back is opposite, can't see Xiao Chou's reaction. As soon as he saw the wall of fire, he thought it was the Little Stink that had made a mistake again. He cried out, "Hello! Stop him! What are you doing standing up for?" This words immediately got Small Stinky white eyes. Does the power of his pure yang still need to be questioned? But hearing this, the King of the Blood Corpse thought it was a mistake. He immediately exclaimed, "Heaven helps me too." And then he went in, instantly submerged in the glory of blood red. The wall of fire also vibrated in an instant, turning into a whirlpool of fire and closing towards the middle. "Damn it!" Mu Xiaoming cried out. He even killed the two blood corpses in his hands, but the last two didn't have the heart to deal with them, so he rushed directly to Xiao Smelly. "I asked you to stop him, why don't you stop him? Don't go after it." After that, he rushed straight inside, but just stepped out a step, but abruptly stopped, as if to see the ghost like standing there. I saw that the flame whirlpool finally condensed to a slender white palm, turned into a wisp of flame, flashing and beating, and on her other palm, just like an eagle catching a chicken, she was carrying a Blood Corpse King in a mess. Yunwu's face was ruddy, and he couldn't see the appearance of the injury before, but his breath was a little unsteady. But this kind of instability is more like the instability of strength. Progress has not yet been consolidated. A face full of cold look, and the hand that is extremely embarrassed. Blood Corpse King has become a sharp contrast. Then, as soon as Yunwu throws it away, he throws the King of Blood Corpse into Mu Xiaoming's hand, and the pure Yang Yen on the other hand to Xiao Chou. Then he comes over. Xiao Smelly happily took over and rushed to Yunwu. "Mama." Just now the serious appearance disappeared, and became the big child who would act coquettishly. "Mama, are you all right? That's great. We're all worried that Smelly Man said that you might become a useless person." What a quack! Little stink points to Mu Xiaoming and says to Yunwu. Cloud Dance mouth a hook, obviously in a good mood, but now is not the time to speak. Looking up at the two figures on the other side who were ready to escape, the voice of Cloud Dance sounded in the secret road. Since you are here, you don't have to think about leaving. Two blood corpses, one step. I was going to leave secretly, but I didn't expect that I could be found so easily. It's not good to go or not. The two blood corpses looked at each other and saw fear in each other's eyes. At the moment, one voice said, "Go." Then like an arrow straight out. Cloud Dance mouth light hook, I cold meaning a flash but very indifferent said, "Who are you going?" "I'll go. I'll go. Small smelly smell, and would repair bright two people each should a double outward fly." In the twinkling of an eye, the two figures disappeared in the secret road. Cloud Dance squints at the king of the blood corpse, with a smile on the corner of his mouth. That smile, unexpectedly let Blood Corpse King see in the heart hair. Don't know what idea she hit. What do you want to do? Most of the Blood Corpse King has now recovered to the human appearance, and his face has been recovered for a long time. If it wasn't for Yunwu to know his identity and feel the residual breath on him, otherwise it would not have been detected at all. Just suddenly. Why? Cloud Dance eyes am I, discovered the Blood Corpse King's strange place. Can't help but open mouth to ask away. You poor is very special, unexpectedly can also change back to human? Blood Corpse King hears speech, facial expression a change, cold turn head to go. I am originally human, again change back again, what strange. You cut off the energy source of our Blood Corpse clan, so naturally we can only change back. Can blood corpses return to humans? Is that the advantage of advanced blood corpse? However, if we can really become human beings, then why do we want to make people ghosts? Yunwu thought about it thoughtfully, so it is possible for those people she saved at the bottom of the pool to change back? Just thinking, the two men who had just disappeared came back with a blood corpse in each hand. The two blood corpses had less energy in their bodies than the king of blood corpses, so now they have completely become human beings. Mama, we've got them all back. What do you think we should do? Small Stink complacently said, as if to ask for credit in general. Cloud Dance's eyes looked at the three people, saw the changes of the two blood corpses, and then looked at the Blood Corpse King, and he understood. In fact, not all blood corpses can become human. But these are not the things she should care about. I ask you, is there a woman in the Blood Corpse clan who looks very similar to me? As soon as Yunwu's words fell, Mu Xiaoming was stunned. Until now, he seemed to know why Yunwu came to the Blood Corpse clan just to find someone? A woman very similar to her? Isn't it a sister? The king of Blood Corpse was immediately depressed. He quickly said, the Blood Corpse clan catches a lot of women every year. We can't remember, and even if there are, they may have died in the war outside. The implication is that if Yunwu wants to find someone, it should not destroy the Blood Corpse clan. Cloud Dance sneer. She wants to find someone. How can not be prepared in advance? Let's not talk about the extraordinary strength of Dragon Qingxia. Let's not talk about whether these blood corpses can arrest them. Just from the time of disappearance, if they are turned into blood corpses, it will take a long time. But at the bottom of the pool, Yunwu didn't find them, so it can be concluded that they must not be in the Blood Corpse clan. And she has never met a woman who looks similar to her all the way. Xueyin's wife must not be immortal. Since they are captured by the Blood Corpse clan, they must be of other use. Even if they are not middle use, the strength of the blood corpses will not be those low-level blood corpses outside. Therefore, she can be sure that Xueyin's wife is destined to be in other places, and only those who know these are the blood corpses in front of her. Not really. Cloud Dance narrowed her eyes and said, originally, I wanted to give you another chance. If any of you said that, I would secretly release you. As long as you are human, you will not be found as long as you get out of the blood corpse field, but you just don't say it, so don't blame me. However, the words have not yet come down. I said. Blood Corpse King listened to have a way to live, quickly can't wait to say, for fear that said late Cloud Dance will kill them. Originally, they were fighting against each other. No matter win or lose, they would die in the end. They are greedy for life and afraid of death. Otherwise they would not be so greedy, and the dark energy would turn into blood corpses. Now it gives them a way to live. In order to survive, they can do whatever they want. He said. Cloud Dance's voice says coldly. That woman, I remember, is still alive, hidden in a secret room. The Blood Corpse King says in a hurry. It was originally the next Blood Corpse King I chose, but I don't know why. Although I succeeded in becoming a blood corpse, I didn't wake up all the time. Cloud Dance in the eyes flashed a touch of undercurrent, did not expect to be really found by her. This blood corpse really did not come in vain. What are you doing? Now take us there. Little Stink put his foot on the Blood Corpse King's shoulder and said coldly, people under the eaves have to bow their heads. The Blood Corpse King didn't dare to resist and quickly got up from the ground, but his face was in a dilemma. That the war outside must have come to an end. Over the years, our blood corpses have robbed many good things. Those people are bound to enter the mountain palace. If there is no accident, I'm afraid I'll find it here. Blood Corpse King's words revealed a touch of worry. If those people found, but a dead end. Yunwu naturally recognized the meaning of his words, so he said, don't worry, I will protect you. As soon as the words came out, the King of Blood Corpse was grateful and left the secret road with Cloud Dance. After half a pillar of incense, several people returned to the room full of runes. This time, all the runes turned white, and only the top 4 were still black. 3 of them are the 3 blood corpses in front of them, and one of them is Shuin's wife. At this time the 4 runes are slowly disappearing, which means that 3 blood corpses are becoming human beings. Although she hasn't woken up all the time, she is still alive just by reading this rune, so she is still sending energy. The Blood Corpse King saw Cloud Dance's eyes looking at the rune, and then he consciously explained. Cloud Dance nodded, motioned Blood Corpse King to continue to lead the way. The King of Blood Corpse made a point in the gap between several runes. Suddenly, a flash door opened beside the black pool. The cloud dances a few people to stretch ahead to see. Inside a piece of white boundless, a white ice and snow make of stairs, slanting eyes down. It's down here. The Blood Corpse King walked up to the cloud dance and said, we have already said, can we let us go? Want to go now? Is it too early? Mu Xiaoming directly blocked behind the Blood Corpse King and said with a smile, you take us to find people and don't leave with us. Do you think you can escape those encirclement outside? As soon as the Blood Corpse King's face changed, he just thought about whether Yunwu would take him according to his promise. For fear of Yunwu's repentance, he put it forward so early. Now when Mu Xiaoming said it, he remembered that those people outside were still searching for people. Cloud Dance a cold smile. Want to go, I don't stop. After that, they turn around and prepare to enter the secret room below with Mu Xiaoming. Wait. The King of Blood Corpse cried hastily. It's very cold below. There are still some mechanisms, so I'd better lead the way. The cloud dances to smile, not to smile of looking at him. The Blood Corpse Wang Dun has no ground to self-respect. Know oneself that careful thought all was seen out. There was no doubt that even if he did not lead the way, there would be no danger for these people to go down. But at the thought of Feng Cai Mu Xiaoming, he did not dare to leave by himself. Oh, have you figured it out? I said. You can't leave alone. You'd better come down with us. Mu Xiaoming didn't dislike big things when he was watching. He laughed several times, as if he had a good relationship with the Blood Corpse King. The Blood Corpse King's face was red, but he didn't say much. This time he learned to be smart, and knew that in front of Mu Xiaoming, no matter what he said, he would be choked back, so he obediently walked in front and led the way. And the other 2 have changed back to human blood corpse, also quickly follow. Into the Chamber of Secrets, a cold oncoming. Yunwu is not afraid of the circulation of fire elements. As a fire warcraft, Xiaoqiu doesn't like this place, but it's not uncomfortable to have pure Yongyan protection. Yunwu looks at Mu Xiaoming, only to find that he is not different at all. He can't help feeling strange. Who is this man in black clothes? So far, no name has been revealed. The only thing I know is that his surname is Mu, Before, some blood corpses called him Mu Xiaozhu. Follow yourself all the way, from the top of the volcano to the blood corpse, no matter it's hot or cold. Although he said that he came to the blood corpse site to find precious herbs, this can only deceive ordinary people. Will pure digging herbs follow her all the time? However, since the man in Xuani didn't want to say it, Yunwu naturally wouldn't take the initiative to ask. But after solving these problems, he still kept it a secret. She really can't leave an unidentified person around. Here it is. Blood Corpse King's voice rings out, interrupted Cloud Dance in the heart of Ponder. I see here is a small chamber of secrets. I don't know what means are used in the chamber of secrets. It's like a place of extreme north, with ice and snow everywhere. There was nothing in the secret room, only a cold jade bed in the middle, on which lay a red blood corpse. Cloud Dance see that cold jade bed. The first reaction unexpectedly think of can use to cultivate. Then just look at the person who get up. Mama, she looks like you, but she is too red and ugly. Small Stink has long been up, lying on the edge of the bed, looking at the person lying on the bed, turning around, looking at Yunwu and the person on the bed. Cloud Dance a burst of helpless. Now the person on the bed or the appearance of blood corpse, how can not be red? When she becomes human, I'm afraid she's also a gorgeous woman. There are 6 similarities between the eyebrows and eyes of the people on the bed and Cloud Dance, but the temperament is quite different. In her deep sleep, she looks very gentle. Her eyebrows are slightly frowning. Her eyebrows are like Dayu in the novel. Cloud Dance can imagine, if this woman opened her eyes, a pair of eyes will be what kind of smoke flow. Why? Beauty. Mu Xiaoming had already expressed his emotion, and looked at her and Yunwu like Xiaoqiu. Well, it is. Little Dance, if you become a blood corpse, it must be the same. When Mu Xiaoming spoke, he unconsciously changed the address into a Little Dance, as if the relationship between them had become much better after a serious injury. Yunwu didn't mind much about this. You talk nonsense. Mama won't turn into a blood corpse. You can see that Mama has nothing to do in that pool. Little Stink stares at Mu Xiaoming and says, besides, how ugly it is to become a bloody corpse. Mama won't change. I'm just making an analogy. Mu Xiaoming rolled his eyes and said, no analogy. Don't allow others to use that metaphor on him. The two quarreled again. Yunwu is not surprised by this. Anyway, Hongling didn't come out. He is the only one who can fight with Xiaoqiu. What's more, from the first time they met, Xiao Stinky was not pleased to see him, so he was not pleased to see him. Anyway, it's just a noise, and it won't fight. Cloud Dance will lie on the edge of the ice bed on the small Stink to one side. Turned to the Xuani man said, can you see what's the matter with her? When Mu Xiaoming heard Yunwu's question, he immediately stopped quarreling with Xiaoqiu and said with a smile, there is no disease in the world that I can't see the cause. Although it's not able to cure them all, it's not difficult to see the cause. Then he went straight forward and looked down at the motionless woman lying on the bed. Cloud Dance stood aside, for these things she did not know, so she could only look at the action of the man in Xuani. I saw that Mu Xiaoming raised his hand to hold the woman's wrist, but he didn't feel the pulse like that. Instead, while holding the wrist, he transmitted a stream of energy into the woman's body. That energy patrols around the woman's body and feeds back the situation in the woman's body to Mu Xiaoming's mind. But for a moment, Mu Xiaoming felt the woman's physical condition clearly. He took back the hand that held her wrist, and there was a flash of surprise in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. What's the matter? As soon as Yunwu saw his appearance, he thought it was some complicated disease and asked. She promised Xueyin that she would take his wife back. If she couldn't bring back a healthy and complete woman, it would be useless. Mu Xiaoming shook his head, eyes full of surprise said, she is not sick. Cloud Dance white he one eye. This certainly is not a disease. All said is turned into blood corpse to cause. How can be a disease? In fact, her health is nothing serious. Everything is normal. Mu Xiaoming then added another sentence. Now everyone became confused. Since there is nothing serious, how can you be unconscious all the time? She has never woken up since she entered the previous pool. At the beginning, We thought that she could not bear the power of the black pool and died. When we were ready to eat her, we felt that there was a strong energy in her body and could compete with the breath in the pool, so we were ready to make her the next king of the blood corpses. The blood corpse king came forward and said to several people, "We had all kinds of conjectures, so we used many means to wake her up, but we failed in the end." Yunwu glances at the blood corpse king lightly, as if considering the credibility of the blood corpse king's words. The blood corpse king felt guilty and said, "Because we want her to be the next blood corpse king, we didn't hurt her body so." Blood corpse king's words cloud dance a few people all understand is what meaning, but is to say can't wake up is not their reason just. Mu Xiaoming naturally understood the meaning of the blood corpse king, but he didn't pay attention at all. He turned to Cloud Dance and said, "I think the reason why she didn't wake up is that she didn't want to wake up, so she used all the energy in her body to resist the black energy, which made her fall into a deep sleep. The more black energy is supplied, the more she consumes and sleeps, until at last, the power in her body is exhausted and can't be replenished. At that time, she will never wake up again." As soon as Mu Xiaoming's words were finished, Cloud Dance moved in his heart. According to Xuan, this woman is only afraid to be brought for some days. That is to say, she has been like this since she was taken away, the ice on her. Cloud Dance at the moment facial expression a sync, direct command way. The woman's whole body was locked in the ice, and the black energy was locked in it. Even without the continuous supply of energy, it would not dissipate for a while. Yes. As soon as the words of Cloud Dance are finished, the King of Blood Corpse answers quickly. Then he walked around the room, knocking from time to time, as if looking for some mechanism. After a long time, there was a sudden sound. The eyes of the King of Blood Corpse brightened, and the palm pressed hard at the place where it touched. Suddenly, the light was shining. The place where the ice bed was originally placed suddenly flashed a bright red array, emitting hot heat. "Fire element array?" Mu Xiaoming said in surprise. Fire element array, as the name suggests, is an array composed of fire elements. Such an array can only be fixed in a certain place, and it also has a fixed starting method. Therefore, it can be used regardless of whether the person who starts the array knows it or not, but often this array does not need to be used as an attack, it is only an auxiliary effect. The Blood Corpse King starts the array, and then comes to the Cloud Dance. Said, "Well, this array is embedded in the sickbed. As long as it is activated, it will soon be able to release the frozen people on it." Yunwu nodded. Several people stood quietly waiting for the ice on the woman to melt. The heat of the fire element array is only released at the moment of starting, and then only within the range of the array can there be that heat. Therefore, although Yunwu several people were nearby, they couldn't feel anything. They just saw that the ice layer on the woman's body was slowly melting in a burst of red light, turning into water drops and flowing down from the hospital bed. With the ice getting thinner and thinner, even a trace of black energy came out of the woman's body. The black energy as like as two peas in the pool. As soon as Yunwu saw the black energy coming out, he turned his head and looked at the little stink. Small stink immediately clear, a hand, a pure yang yen release, directly burned those black energy. It's still very hot. Blood Corpse King see a small stink again release pure yang yen. Eyes can't help showing a touch of praise and fear. In fact, after his figure was covered by the light, the flame was taken back. He didn't really touch the flame. It was just that he was close to the flame, and became embarrassed. It was also his fate. Otherwise, it would have been a pile of ashes. Where can we stand here and talk? Well, my fire is the most powerful. Little Stinky raised his chin with pride. Blood Corpse King Shan Shan's smile, for small stink in the heart more some fear, obediently stood aside and did not speak. Soon the ice covering the people on the ice bed completely melted. The fire element array slowly disappears under the control of the Blood Corpse King. The black energy that appears is completely destroyed by the little stink. What's next? As soon as the array disappears, Yunwu turns to ask the man in Xuani. Leave it to me. Mu Xiaoming went forward and examined the woman everywhere like a doctor. Without the barrier of the ice layer, it's more convenient to check. Once again, a breath enters the woman's body, and Mu Xiaoming feels it carefully. After a long time, the breath of Mu Xiaoming came out after inspecting the woman's body. When he opened his eyes, Mu Xiaoming showed a smile in his eyes. He walked to Yunwu with a smile and said, "Don't worry, don't fight against those dark forces. She will recover soon, but she may not be as powerful as before. After all, so many days have consumed a lot and moved the foundation." As soon as Mu Xiaoming's words were finished, Yunwu frowned. As like as two peas. She did not promise that she was bringing the same woman back to her. But if she saw this kind of woman, what was she doing? You know, he still has what she needs. What's more, since they have been saved, it's better to send the Buddha to the west. Mu Xiaoming tilted his head and thought for a moment, said, "I can help her repair the foundation, but I can only practice a little if I want to restore her strength." After getting the answer, Yunwu finally nodded his head and said, "It's okay, I haven't finished the task." Mission? Mu Xiaoming asked in surprise, waiting for Yunwu's answer. But she didn't look like she meant it. Mu Xiaoming said, "Take her out of this place first. It's too cold here. It's not conducive to recovery. Take her up there and you'll soon wake up, but you'll be a little weak." Yunwu nodded, then called Jinling out, took the woman, and several people went out together, with the Blood Corpse King and the other two blood corpses to lead the way. This time, a few people who are familiar with the road spared the people outside, and went out of the mountain palace. Along the way, those people who united to attack the Bloody Corpse had long forgotten their original intention. When the Blood Corpse clan was exterminated and the Beast clan withdrew, they focused on the treasures they had snatched over the years. They all rushed into the mountain palace to snatch. When they saw the valuable things, they would snatch them. The place where I have passed is like a whirlwind in clouds. I haven't left any oil and water. These abominable human beings. Blood Corpse King gnashed teeth of say, looking at oneself painstakingly build up of mountain palace, heartache of. Cloud Dance lightly looked at him one eye. How? You didn't take those things like they did? In a word, choking Blood Corpse Wang Dun has no words. To be a blood corpse, to have a strong power to rob human property, to enjoy all that he can enjoy, these are indeed what he has done over the years. But when the robbed person became himself, the king of Blood Corpse always felt very uncomfortable. Get out of here. Yunwu made a quick decision. They are human beings, and they have Mu Xiaoming here. They are not afraid to meet acquaintances. What's more, those human beings have been attracted by those treasures for a long time. Seeing that they didn't mean to rob Yunwu, they naturally ignored him. Some people who knew Mu Xiaoming politely came out and yelled at him, "Master Mu." That's all. They soon left the mountain palace. Near the entrance of the Blood Corpse place, they stopped for a rest. Cloud Dance looks at the fiery world outside the entrance, and knows that as long as you get out of the entrance, you will enter the hot environment again. I'm not afraid to have ice soul beads on my body, but if a woman doesn't wake up all the time, it's a real trouble. Can't she carry her all the way? I decided to wait until the woman woke up. A few people scattered sitting under a few trees. Cloud Dance does not speak. Those blood corpses also dare not mention to leave things, had to follow with fear. And little stink, they have already gone back to their own space. I gave her the pills that I studied myself. When she wakes up, I'll practice again and recover soon. Mu Xiaoming squatted beside the woman for a long time, then raised his head and said to Yunwu, "If the foundation damage is not easy to cure, the difficulty lies in the need to support, and if you want to be quick, you can't reach it. You can't be in a hurry." Cloud Dance nodded. Xuani Man said the problem she naturally also understand. Wait for her to wake up, tell her how to raise on the line. Well, it's on me. I can't be overcome by such a small problem. Mu Xiaoming patted his chest and said, "Just let Yunwu take such a fancy to this woman. He has to perform well. Where are we going next?" Mu Xiaoming excitedly asks Yunwu questions, but he doesn't imagine that Yunwu looks at him for a long time in silence, and finally spits out another answer from his mouth. "It's not where we're going, it's where you're going." In the virgin forest. Shangguan happily picked up the dead warcraft. Just here, a hurricane suddenly hit from the rear. Shangguan almost instinctively flashed to the side and directly flashed the hurricane. When he turned around, he saw two huge warcraft looking at him angrily. It's a beast, but I don't know why. I can see the anger on their faces. Shangguan knew that he had just killed the little one. Now the two old ones are looking for him. But he can't help it. When he walks in the forest, he must have enough to eat. He can't stop eating in order not to provoke them, can he? Shangguan grinned and said, I'm sorry, I didn't know he was your child. Look, I just came from there. I'm really hungry. With a smile on his mouth, he followed the two warcraft to say this, no matter whether they could understand or not. His eyes were looking around the environment, looking for the escape route. Now he is tired physically and mentally, and has injuries on his body. Originally, he had some difficulty in dealing with a small warcraft. He wanted to fill his stomach, and then heal his wounds. Who knows that at this time, the two big ones came. At this time, if he really fight with them, the winning rate is only half at most. There are too many dangers in the forest. Even if he wins, if he encounters danger next, he will die. In this primeval forest, he must ensure that he has this minimum ability of action, otherwise he will never see his friends again. I can't help sighing in my heart, lamenting my own fate, but at the same time, my whole body has entered a state of high alert. The two warcraft had obviously been extremely angry. The huge horns were powerful. They raised their heavy hooves and ran towards themselves. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.